My bad. My bad, folks. My bad. My bad. I'm sorry. My bad, Triple. My bad, Trouble. My bad, Trouble. I was trying to switch phones, but I was on my other account. I fucked up.
He said that. You said you agreed.
It's okay. We kind of needed a restart because I feel like I wanted to tell these people don't know how government works, and they're telling me, like they're telling me they're trying to explain it to me, but it was really I'm not Jay, like I'm not as assertive as Jay.
I don't
But
know
like,
where he fled to.
yeah, he ran off, but he would have really wrangled that. That was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh man, my phone was gonna die, so I had to switch phones. But when I started the live, I was on a different account, and I ended the one on the original phone. Anyways, yeah, you're definitely right. We need to start it over. Sorry, FBAs, if you guys want to come back up. I know you're not on here right now.
But yeah, some of these things I feel like we have to talk about because I don't know. I don't think they know.
Yeah, I think we're just jumping the gun with what we want and wish. We're really wishful thinking kind of thing,
Yeah.
Or even the reparation thing you were saying in San Francisco. I was trying to bring it up about how it's merely just a reparation fund for Black residents. I'm reading it off. But they do not allocate initial city funding in the vote. Instead, it creates a framework for future contributions, moving from an apology to an action by establishing a structure for promotion, potential direct payments and programs based on recommendations from the city task force. Though debate continues over specifics like cash amounts. So it's not, you can be recognized all you want for reparations. I mean, it happened in California. They shot down a lot of them. Gavin Newsom shut them all down. This one just happened. This one was a surprise. I didn't know about this one, just like you were surprised too. But once again, not to say that there isn't any progress with that. That's great. I'm happy that that is there and that there is an avenue for it. But to claim it an all end be all kind of situation, there are limitations in it. And so, yeah, I think we got away from the prompt, to tell you the truth, Trouble. So that's probably for the best. Oh, we ran it up to like 40 views, though. I don't know what it is about this prompt. It's triggering prompt, I guess. Anyways, my apologies, guys. My apologies. Live ended on my fault. My fault. It was my fault.
Man, not bad if I got your live took down, bro. I wasn't trying to, man.
No, you
I don't know if
good,
I
Crash
did it.
Out.
I don't know if
No,
I did it or if it just
no, you
happened.
didn't do it. You didn't do anything. You're good, bro. You from the town?
Yes, sir.
I'm over here in Santa Cruz.
Oh, salute. You already know. And
Yeah,
this, I
I'm
know
in
it's
the.
different. I know it's
I'm,
different for you from what you seeing from what we used to seeing in our region, right?
oh yeah. I got family friends out there, like East Oakland.
Yes, sir. That's
But
exactly where
yeah,
I'm at
I'm in
right
a
now.
predominantly white town, over
No, I
here
know
where
where
I'm
you
at.
at. I know where you at. But being in the Bay Area, we are a
Facts.
diverse region. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
facts. Yeah.
that's why I came up here to say, hey, look, check this out. I got homeboys this Mexican Nortes. You get what I'm saying? That was here who grew up with me. I go walk inside their house right now without knocking on the door. So it's a little bit different with the whole delineation and everything. But I got to stand with my people when it come to that. You get what I'm saying? And it ain't no knock on nobody else. And that's what I think a lot of people not understanding. You get what I'm saying? It's us just sweeping our own floor. You know, just like you see what's going on in Oakland. We always check our own. We just checking ourselves. That's all it is, bro.
Yeah, one of my mods, he from Oakland. He has stepped down for a little bit, but yeah, man, our issues with Tariq Nasheed specifically, it's not with the FBA so-called identity, or Salon or ADOS. Like, it is what it is. We here to push back on that xenophobia, or that rhetoric, or that I draw the line. If you a black MAGA, FBA MAGA, that's where I draw the line. But yeah, I'm half Mexican, half Eritrean from East Africa. So I got a crazy mix to me. Mother's Afro Mexican from Oaxaca. We got roots, but I got both sides. I got smoke on both sides, right? So I'm out here.
Right. But the thing with Tariq Nasheed is this, man. We've been following Tariq Nasheed. He actually be in the neighborhoods, man. He's good in the hood. Now, the smoke going on with him and the Africans, you got to understand, it ain't really nothing but a roasting session. You get what I'm saying? They get up there, they get at him. He always, if you go to his lives, he'll bring you up. He don't just attack you. He'll bring you up. He wait for you to bring the smoke and he starts smoking shit. You know what I'm saying? But that ain't the core of what FBA is. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we're gonna swing back when you start swinging first. You know what I'm saying? But people pocket watch this man and they look at it like he's dividing the diaspora. Bro, we ain't never been part of no diaspora. They did this, right? They included us into this. Nobody came and knocked on our doors and said, "Hey, y'all want to be part of this?" And you also got to look at like I say, the word African American. That's a misnomer to us. It's a racial slur to us when we
Yeah,
hear that.
my brother, catch out. I gotta say, Tariq Nasheed is a grifter. He was a Pan Africanist before he was ever.
We all was, brother. I just
Well,
told you
okay
that.
then. Okay then. Even Black Panthers were, right? Like they,
Yeah, my
for
family knows.
the yellow power, brown power, whoever power, and then
Look.
they spread out.
Let
So
me tell
again,
you something.
if you support Tariq Nasheed, if you guys back, if he's good in the streets, he ain't good in these streets. Is all I'm saying. And it's not against you. It's not against the lineage. It's against him as an individual. He's not your leader. I get it, but he is your owner. He owns the FBA brand. You can't get out of that, bro. So
He owned the brand.
if you out here in the streets representing FBA wrong, he can slap you with the lawsuit, right? He can always turn his back on you. That's what I always have to remind I always have to remind folks about that.
Now, look, man, I get exactly what you're saying, but I think it was genius that he did do what he did with FBA by even claiming ownership of that name, man. Look what they have done to everything else. So they can't evade it and make it something besides what it's supposed to be, foundational Black American. Now, he gonna do that to anybody who play with that. He's not gonna do that with FBA people. I can make an FBA hoodie and shirt and sell it, and he ain't gonna cease and desist that, bro. You get what I'm saying? He's not gonna do that. He made it to where nobody can invade it and water it down and do things to it, which was genius. Because this is what it is, bro. That's like if you pushing any kind of other thing that you're doing. Look at African American. Look at the name African American, bro. That name is copyrighted too, right? You get what I'm saying? But look how many people can walk inside that.
My brother, we got nothing but hyphenations before American. American is just a nationality, right? Black is just a status as well as a race, right? So it's nothing to, African American was in the 80s, and black empowerment and dashikis and afros and pics, you feel me?
Nah, I
But
get what you're
hey,
saying. That's a
okay,
fact
so
what you're saying.
if people embraced it enough to stand with it, you're not going to shake those people from the foundation of that. And what I mean by that is you got older generation people that are not going to shake from that. Even our grandparents and stuff that had a black or say Negro as an identity, And when they heard they go from Negro to black, they were like, what is black? That's some radicalized identity. I don't want to do nothing with that. They were so comfortable in Negro, right? So through reclassifications, right, we've had to change identity, right? But it's not always in our best interest is what I'm saying, Crash. And I don't think FBA is in the best interest of Black Americans or African Americans that still hold an affinity to Africa. Whether you like to, if you want to delineate, go ahead and delineate. Just don't be punching down on the same people that have been supporting the movement. And I'm not talking about the new waves of immigrants that come here. We're really aware of the coonery and the buffoonery and on both sides, right? And what is promised to you or given credit to, Black Americans deserve all of that. We don't want you guys not to get reparations. We're just saying the punching down, the xenophobia. If you stand by this current administration, if you a Black MAGA, like I said before, if you a FBA MAGA, that's where I draw the line, and that's it, man. It's cookie cutter, like it's just simple. There's no beef.
I'm not a Trump supporter, bro.
There's no beef. This is just
Trump supporting. What he doing in his policies is different.
Right. But either way, I'm not talking about you, Crash Out. I'm just talking about in general. That's where I draw the line, and that's why I'm up here talking my ish, and we got smoke too. We can roast too,
Right.
It ain't no problem.
Ain't nothing but a roast.
But we have intellectual conversations, we don't want to bash, we don't want to do that, but if it comes down to that, we don't have a problem with it either. But regardless of the fact, we still appreciate a constructive dialogue. And let's get to the facts. Let's get to receipts. Let's see what we're working with, and let's learn. Let's learn together.
Look, I've been on a few of these panels, bro, and when I hear the bashing and everything and the roasting, I laugh at it. I joke with it. But at the end of the day, it takes away the intellectual and the smartness to me. It takes away from your greatness when you do that, because now you ain't even getting your message through. You get what I mean? So I don't really partake in those kind of conversations, bro. When they get the bashing, I just drop off your panel, man. I'm not with none of that, because you know where I'm at. I'm in East Oakland, man. Half these people wouldn't even walk up on me and try to shake my hand in real life. You get what I'm saying? We on the app doing this, bro. You get what I mean? Now, when we unpack the reclassification, my mother and my aunties and everybody, they birth certificates say Negroes. You get what I'm saying? My birth certificate say Black /Negro. Now, when you look at these classifications, these is coming from white people. We was Indians first, right? We were labeled Indians. Then we went from Indians to Negro, from Negro to Black, from Black to Afro-American. Everything but American, right? Then you had Jesse Jackson come in 1980 or 88 or something like that and bring the name African American. And everybody was Pan-African. That movement was to bring people over here to make our numbers stronger, Black Americans' numbers stronger. But when they got over here, they immediately delineated from Black Americans. So this is a step back in a delineation that they had already done, bro. So when you go back and you look at it, they opened up businesses. They didn't hire people in our neighborhoods. You get what I'm saying? They didn't bring in no little black boy up inside the store and get him a job to let him sweep out the store and mop the floor. You know what I'm saying? It was the same thing in the Chinese restaurants and everywhere else. Same thing in the taquerias, bro. You know that. You ain't never walked in a taqueria in Santa Clara and seen a black person taking your order, bro. You get what I'm saying? And that's that's the problem. And that's the problem right there,
here,
bro.
Crash Out. I have to remind you, bro. Even though Black Americans have done everything for the civil rights, nothing to take away from that, we don't hold the keys. We're not the gatekeepers, bro. They write the legislation. They write it all up. There was pressure on white people, how they were treating Black Americans, that pressured them to write that civil bills. But who were the first people to come in through that? It wasn't no African immigrants. It wasn't the Caribbean immigrants. It was the white European immigrants, plus the white woman. So I don't miss me with all, not you, but most FBAs that want to bring that up about these positions. We got a little Chinatown, we got a little Arab town in Black communities. Yes. Black Americans have the biggest spending power, but Black Americans always spend with everybody else. You know, we spend the most money, but in other people's businesses, it doesn't reciprocate back into Black communities. Now, not to say that there wasn't any hindrance in that. Yes, Black Wall Street, everything that Black Americans have built has been taken down by white T America. That's why it baffles me why we would spend outside of the community. But again, we take that money and recirculate it within the community, you know, and not spend it outside. You know, that's part of it. Another part of it is obviously the immigrants that are pitted against Black Americans. That's obvious, you know. I'm saying still, we don't see who's pulling the strings. We don't see who invites them here. It wasn't Black Americans that invited everybody over. You know, they set the precedence for the civil rights bill, but who is taking advantage of the cheap labor? Why are we deporting? Why are we not holding the people that hire, undocumented people? Why are we not holding accountable to all these owners that ask them to come here? You know, if it's not for their smarts, for their credibility, it's because of their cheap labor. So you got everything in between after that. So there's just a lot more questions to ask, Crash.
But, all right, so we gonna go back to unpack real quick what you said. You got Little Chinatown. Are these people hiring Black Americans, but they had these businesses set up in the neighborhoods?
Of course not. White T people ain't hiring Black folks either. So again, the smoke is not with African immigrants and Caribbean immigrants or even Mexicans at this point. Everybody hires their own, you know, and so that's how America runs. But not to say that's not, you know, it is kind of it is discriminatory, right? Everything should be open for everybody to work. I get that. But it's not what's on your application. It's who you know. That's how you get a job in America. We all know that, right? So with that, we just got to get on code and run our own shit and hire our own. It's that simple.
I was getting ready to unpack that right there for you. You get what I'm saying? I was going to unpack that right there for you. So when you go back and you look at it, white T people don't operate within the Black community like that when it comes to their businesses and their corner stores. Nah, you got to go up in Pleasant Hill and see their stores. You know, you got to go into these white T areas and you'll see their stores open. But you don't like I said, they don't operate with inside our communities. What operates inside our communities is immigrants and migrants who we voted for to come over here. Then you come over here, you get in position, and you don't spend your money inside our neighborhood. You don't hire us. You don't put us on. You get what I'm saying? Now, the reason why we don't open up our own businesses right now, because look what they have done to them. Even though we do have, if we have that kind of money to spend, how much money do we have saved? How much money are we sitting on? So we keep missing that point. Now, we have done it. Historically, what have they done to it once we opened them up? They tore them down, they burnt them down, and then we out here in the middle of America tearing America up again. Come on, man. If you've been in the Bay Area, you know how Black Americans move out here, man. We gonna tear it up. You feel me? We gonna ride and watch everybody else have a parade when it's done. You get what I mean? So look what they have done historically. So we wisened up to say, you know what? Let them have them corner stores and them little barbecue shops or whatever they want. You get what I'm saying? Because what the migrants and immigrants don't know is they're only going to let them have that for a minute before they figure out a way to come take it from them. What are they doing now? What are they doing now? They taking it. They taking it how? By deportations, getting them out of here. Now, who does that come back to? They looking at us to say, okay, we got them out of here, y'all. Y'all going to open up your barbecue shops and your barber shops and shit and be like, nah, be cool. You get what I'm saying? And it's a big fact right here, what I'm telling you, bro. We learned how to be rich in America without businesses, man. That's why our spending power is so high. That's why our voices are so strong. Because they know all we got to do, if Black Americans pull a dollar out this economy, America fall. No other subgroup can carry Americans like Black American money can. And that's a big fact right there. I'm going to land. I'm going to let you respond, bro.
All right, Crash. I'm gonna wait on that response. I heard your points, and I kind of like agree. I agree with them. I mean, you were responding to me because I had brought up a lot of those points, but I agree. I disagree on some points, but we'll run it back. Let me introduce Meeks up here. Meeks, welcome back, Trouble. Meeks, can I get your race, your ethnicity, where you're from, please?
Hi, I am Black. I am Caribbean and I'm in New York City.
Okay, welcome to the panel, sister. Go ahead and respond to anything that's been said, or you can answer one of the questions on the prompt. Go ahead.
I was listening to Crash Out, and some of the points I understand what he's saying, but I just don't understand why there's so much anger and vitriol to immigrants, specifically African and Caribbean immigrants, when we're such a small group in this country. On the East Coast, this is where most Caribbean people live. New York City is the number one, and then I think it's like Miami and like very few states. We're not, there's not much of us on the West Coast. There's certainly not much in the Midwest. So we really concentrated in small areas, but they're making it seem like if this small group is having such a major impact. You know, I grew up here in Brooklyn. I love it that the fact that it's so diverse. I can go in the corner store. I got Arabs, the Arabs usually have the corner stores. I can get my nails done at a Korean store. I can go to a Caribbean restaurant, get Caribbean food. I could go to a Black American restaurant and get some food. It's like we don't. I'm just really confused as to where this comes from. Where this delineation, this anger is coming from. It seems like these whoever's in charge or who's pushing this narrative is really trying to divide people, and it's working. This was not a normal conversation a couple of years ago. Now all of a sudden, it's like the number one thing on TikTok. You know, I think people are just falling for it. I believe it's, you know, a certain three-letter group is behind it because they are see that their numbers are shrinking and they need to separate Black people, and people are falling for it.
That's primarily not true. What you just said. I mean, I understand you is being genuine because it kind of caught everybody off guard, right? So let me tell you something. You can go. This number facts. This been going on for 10 years, right? It started with Dr. Claude Anderson. It didn't start with Tariq Nasheed. It just caught wind on TikTok. This been going on for 10 years inside our neighborhoods.
What's been going on for 10 years?
Delineating, taking care of ourselves, keeping our money to ourselves, checking us in house in ourselves, not worried about no one else but us. That's all it is. It ain't no hate towards nobody. We don't even know. I'm an FBA. I don't know why everybody's taking it as like it's some hate going on. And it's like nobody's hating. It's just that we saying we're taking care of us. We're not fighting nobody else's battles but ours. We
No,
fought
but that's
these
the
people.
thing. I'm sorry, but nobody's, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I don't think anybody would be against you taking care of yourself. But I'm seeing people saying, oh, they're calling ICE just because of somebody having an accent. Like they're deliberately trying to interfere with people just because they have an accent or they're not from here. I don't think
Right.
anybody has ever said Black Americans shouldn't take care of themselves. You should have your own. You should have your restaurants. You should have your businesses and hire your own youth. Nobody's against that. But
Right.
why are you angry or think that because if a Chinese person opened a Chinese restaurant and they hire Chinese people, why is that a problem? Even if they're in a Black neighborhood, they
Okay,
speak
so
Chinese.
okay, so let me stop you right there. I don't like interjecting. I just want to stay on certain points that you talk about. Okay, so how is that
Mhm.
helping the Black community? By you coming in here getting our money and not putting our youth to work or even passing out
What
a
do you
turkey
mean
or a
your
backpack for
money?
that
What do
matter.
you mean getting your money? This is the
What?
United States.
Wait.
Everybody's money is
You
for the
inside my
country. Anybody,
neighborhood, my community though. So I'm
what do you
gonna be
mean
But
the
it's
one
your neighborhood? It's
patronizing your
a
store, right?
neighborhood. It's
oh,
a
you mean like
neighborhood.
in
It's not your
businesses?
neighborhood.
You mean
It's
in
No,
like
a
it's our
neighborhood.
neighborhoods. We've been in these neighborhoods for over 400 years, man. Plus,
hold on, hold on.
this
Yeah,
is
Take a
our
step back.
land.
Take a step back. I want to understand what you're saying. When you say our money, are you saying like by opening
Black Americans'
stores?
money. Who's the
I
one
know.
patronizing your store?
I understand. You're talking about a group of people. When you say our money, are you saying when we open stores and Black people shop with us? Like, what do you mean your
Yeah,
money? Like,
yeah. Like who patronizes your store? Who the one
right.
coming there
So
spending money?
right. So
everybody.
yeah,
No, when you
but
open up in the Black community,
yeah, you're spending your yes. It's Black
we're
money.
we're, we're spending our money, or is this somebody else's money now? Like y'all say, this ain't our land. Is that the white tea money too?
No. Hold on. I don't. I think we're just trying to clarify. Don't get offended or anything. When it's a Black neighborhood and it's one of our stores and stuff like that, and Black people spend their money in our stores. Of course, you're spending money in our stores, right? It's your money. Do you like do you have an issue with that, like, or I
Okay,
don't.
this will be. Let me clarify something for you because I'm gonna speak for the majority of Black Americans. All right. I
Okay.
have the title and I can do this
All
respectfully.
right.
So therefore, if you come inside my community, right, where it's predominantly black people at, and you looking
Okay.
around and you seeing all this plight going on in the neighborhood by design, right?
Okay.
Not because this is what we do as a people. This is systemic racism that you
We
see.
know. We know
Oh,
about
okay,
systemic
all right.
racism.
So, all right. So if you see this going on, right? You see this going on in our community, then you come bring a store here and we passing our money over to you. Sometimes we get respect, sometimes we don't, but we still patronize your store just off code on culture, right?
Hmm.
But then we turn around and we don't see you spending the money back inside our neighborhoods. You don't have to per se say, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and start a donation fund for Black Americans in this neighborhood. We say no. When school time come up, why you not out here in these lines passing out backpacks with pencils in it for the kids? See,
I
this is
don't
what we do. And
Okay,
understand.
hold on,
let
We
me
do that
put
hold
it.
type of
up,
Hold
stuff,
on
hold
a
up. Let
second,
me
but
Chumba.
land. Let me land, and then I'm not gonna go nowhere. I promise. Just let me land because I'm seeing this, and this is what really caused the delineation 10 years ago. So if I'm standing outside in this cold weather passing out coats, where is the Chinese people in our lines and the immigrants in the lines helping us do this? Where they at? See, this is how we move and
okay.
operate as a community. Why y'all not out here passing out turkeys? We spending money with y'all. Why y'all not out here helping the community out in that way?
All right.
You,
So you
so
mentioned you were
hold
in
on a second, Chumba.
California.
You
Hold on a
don't have
second,
no
Chumba. Can I
toys
just
for
say something
tots,
really
no
quick?
nothing.
Sure.
Crash out. If you're looking for red, if you have a red car, I'm sure you heard the analogy before. If you have a red car, right, you buy a new red car, and you're driving, that's all you're going to see is red cars, right? So if that's where your mindset is, that's all you're going to see. I'm telling you, as somebody who lives in a very diverse neighborhood, I've seen them do, especially around in the summertime, we have our block parties right before school starts. There are a lot of giveaways. And they're not saying immigrants only, or this only. It's for everybody who lived there. It's for everybody who lived there. There's nobody saying when if somebody opens a store in a neighborhood, more than likely they're filling a need in that store to put in that neighborhood. That wasn't there before. For example, if there's a black neighborhood and needs a hardware store, let's say somebody say, oh, there's a need for a hardware store. Let's say that person is a Caribbean person and they open a hardware store. Now they're providing a service to the people who live there. I mean, what more do you want?
Okay, let me give you a prime example, ma'am. Because I'ma always salute. You know what I'm saying? And pay homage to the ones who did come over here and assimilate with Black Americans. And a lot of people in California and the other states don't get how we operate with Northern Mexicans, Nortes. And the host is from the Bay Area. He know what I'm about to say. See, when we was out here side by side fighting with these white T police in these streets in Oakland, California, and throughout California, you know who was on the side of us? Northern Mexicans when they got over here. You know who, when they opened up their taquerias and did what they did over here, you know who opened up their door to us? Northern Mexicans. You know who passed out backpacks with us in Little Bobby Hutton Park in West Oakland? Northern Mexicans. Cesar Chavez people. You get what I'm saying? Hold on. These are immigrants who came in 1975 into California. They did not close their doors and section themselves off. They stood side by side with us. They live right next door to us. They pass out backpacks, turkeys, whatever we can do to help the community. That's not going on with the rest of the migrants or immigrants that come into this country, man.
I
So I just
don't.
told
I
you
can't
how we
speak
operate
about.
as a community. We're not asking you for no fun or no handout. We saying, hey,
Be
if
you're yeah. You're basically
hold
saying
on, let
you
me
be for
no,
the
because I'm
community.
just to unpack it for you. So the first thing y'all say is George Floyd. You know how many George Floyds happened in America already? Where were y'all at? Where were your uncles at? Where was your aunties at? I'm talking about the people
We
before
were
you.
What
we
do
were
you
protesting.
do you see how many in Brooklyn here? How many what is Black Lives Matter protests there were? And in fact, I saw Caribbean people, white people, Chinese people in there. I think you know what I think. What I realize is this discussion is always uh, going to be weird because people have their own perception. I've never been to California. I don't know what the dynamics is like over there. And it's a different type of people that's there. Just like in New York, it's going to be a different type. People from the South it's a different perception. So you got all these different perceptions that's coming in, trying to spew a certain idea that's just not going to work because everybody have their own experiences based on where their location is. So I keep you saying with the Mexicans and stuff like that. There's Mexicans over here. I ain't never had no problem with them. You know, we see them as a certain. I think it's a different type of Mexicans too. That in New York, honestly, than the
I
ones in
mean,
California.
we spend our monies in our communities. Over here, we have Black people in our community. We share, we reach out and stuff like that. I can't speak on where you're from. Maybe we don't really have there aren't too many of us over there. You're surrounded by, the Mexicans you mentioned or the Chinese folks you were talking about. Um, but I feel like America's a big country. You're gonna see good and bad in all of these communities. I don't really understand the delineation thing fully. I'm not against it. It's definitely a choice. It's your choice. But what I'm starting to see is the I'm calling ICE. If I see a Black person, I'm calling ICE. And that's the kind of thing I don't get, because ICE is disappearing people right now. And it takes me back to a period where people in this country were afraid of having police called on them because they didn't know what the outcome would be.
Okay,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? So it's kind of like,
Just
where's
Trouble,
the
right? Let me look
humanity?
at my phone. Let me look at my phone. I don't want to call her sweetheart again. That's Trouble talking.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
Trouble. Okay, Trouble. Let me hold you right there because you kind of unpacking a lot. But I'm gonna stay on topic to what you just said. The delineation is what I just said. You know how many times this didn't happen throughout America, and we fought alone. We've been here alone fighting these white people. So you got to understand, it's hard to do if you're not Black American, because that's all FBA is. Put your feet in their shoes for a minute. And say, damn man, why every time we out here fighting these people politically, physically, we the only ones here by ourselves fighting these people, right? Now, let me give you a quick analogy on why me, myself personally had to get an understanding from my uncle who told me this, and why I didn't never knock y'all. When we say knock, the host know what I mean, like hold it against you. Now, Oscar Grant happened out here in Oakland, right? Everybody, we all out here tearing this damn thing up, man. We burning this place to the damn ground. We look on our side, we don't see no African immigrants, right? This me. I'm speaking for me. I'm looking to my side. I don't see no Caribbean people out here. I just see northern Mexicans and us. You
Hmm.
know, in a few other ethnicities, like a couple Chinese people, but it's majority us out here, right?
Hmm.
So this was my complaint. I'm like, man, what the hell these people are? Y'all voted them in. I'm going in on my uncles, right? I just told you my family is Panthers, so I'm going in on them. Y'all sat out here and got sprayed down with water hoses. Where these people at? You know what he said? Them peoples is migrants and immigrants. They can't throw a rock. This been going on before this happened. Y'all never came outside with us because you can't, because you're a green card holder, because y'all not real citizens, so y'all can be deported. So
Who?
once my uncle explained that to me, I didn't have a knock on why y'all wasn't outside. You get what I'm saying? I'm like, well, they can't come outside. They in check on the chessboard. They come out here and throw a rock, they gonna get sent back to their country. Understandable, right?
I
Right?
mean, that
So
is true.
this
Yeah, that is a
understandable.
factor.
That was
Hmm.
understand. I'm just being honest with you right now. I'm keeping it 100. So I said, okay, well, they really can't come outside because they can be deported. That's me. They can't do shit to me but take me to jail and bring me back to my neighborhood, right? So that's a different dynamic. So I understood that. You know what I'm saying? So the delineation came from what I was saying earlier. You know, a lot of migrants. I don't like, the immigrants came over here. They got in position and they don't come in our neighborhoods and fuck with us. You get what I'm saying? And we've been seeing that, but we still support. We still go in there and show love. Anytime anything wrong happened to them, our voice stop it. We step up to the plate, say, hold on. Them black people, man. And what do the white tea people
All
do?
right.
When y'all say we don't have power, they stop the bullshit, right?
Okay, so I understand what you're saying. What
Let me
it
interject real quick, Trouble,
for
because
sure?
again, Crash. During
The thing
Black
is,
Lives
Vibes,
Matter, not to
you can't
say
do
that that
anything about
was
their grievances. To be honest, you can't say, like, if
well.
they
No,
feel
I
like
just
that.
wanted to tell the brother, especially in the Bay Area, since he lives in the Bay Area, know how strong Black and Brown communities are, and how they have each other's back. Forget about Black Lives Matter. Now we got this issue again because Black Lives Matter was in it was a collaboration, even though it was Black Lives Matter, but it was also Kids in Cages during Donald Trump's administration, and black and brown people got together to fight against that. Now we got, the reversal. We got the Kids in Cages now first before any black movement has started up besides the FBA. But now we hear Black Americans not wanting to join in with the black or with the Mexicans, right? I can understand with the white teen Mexicans. I can understand with the Hispanic, Latino, racist people, right? The same immigrants that get over here and don't even get racially profiled, right? They blend in with the white tea people so good, I'm talking about the brown skin folks, talking about the Afro-Indigenous people of Mexico, like myself. I'm talking about looking past their nationality or their status, man, and just seeing brothers as brothers or going through a strife. So right now we see Black Americans saying, "Nah, we're not going to support that." Because we getting our asses beat, right? You got one side that says they're just exhausted and tired of always supporting and never getting nothing back. I get that one. Then you got the other half that are claiming this nationalistic kind of point of view because they're about Donald Trump and talking about kicking out all immigrants. We even have Mexican Americans, bro. We have the No Sabos. We have the Nopal and the Frente. We got all them sellout Mexican dudes that are part of ICE too, that are kicking out paisanos and undocumented people, right? They're turning on their own people, right? So we got a lot going on right now. But for the first time, Black Americans said.
Hold on, man. Let the man land. I'm listening, bro.
For the first time, we had Black Americans that said, "No, we're exhausted, and we just, we rather just stay out of this one, And there's nothing wrong with that, man. I think it's more about the people going with the xenophobia and the anti-immigration, like our own people, Mexican Americans, that do the same shit, right? So again, there's two ways to citizenship. There's naturalization, and then there's birthrights. You can't do shit about the Mexican Americans, about the African Americans. And when I say African Americans, I mean the people that had kids here, what you would call an anchor baby, right? And a lot of FBAs are uninformed about the Naturalization Act being connected to people that were born here. There's two different things. So you guys need to stay a little more educated. I'm not saying that's you, Crash Out. I'm saying the people these FBAs I've confronted talking about calling me an anchor baby and shit. They just mad because we can't get deported. That's it. They mad because they know there's nothing they can do, and they conflating shit, talking about, oh yeah, just wait until they get rid of your parents, and then you next, So all that bullshit is what we're gonna fight against. But I did want to lay that out. Go ahead, Trouble. Go ahead. I just want to say that.
Yeah. So I honestly, the delineation thing doesn't bother me. I have my ethnicity. In America, we all have our race. It doesn't bother me. Do I wish we could have had like conversations before it got to this point? Sure. I'd like there to be middle ground if there can be. If not, that's fine. My concern now is the lack of humanity in some of the statements that are being said, and you can see them in the comments, right? Like there are people saying they're gonna call ICE for every African they see and let ICE figure out who is illegal and who's not. That's the kind of thing that I don't get. If you're a Black American, why would you want that for someone? Why would you want the same thing that was happening to you to happen to other people? Like, where's the humanity? You know what I'm saying? Like, before, I know a lot of people say, oh, George Floyd wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing Black people supported. The reason why Somalis were outside was because seeing a police officer on top of somebody the way we saw was disgusting. We couldn't stand for it, So even if you didn't agree with, BLM, we were outside because we were bothered by what we were seeing. And we are always bothered by what we see happening to Black people in America, and that's why we were outside. Do you understand what I'm saying? So being with the history, right? Why would you want to call ICE on people that are being dragged to Louisiana? And you know what I mean?
All
and
right, well,
disappeared.
that's them in the comments. So let me do it
Do
on
you
a more
support that?
professional. No, I'm not. I'm from Oakland. We don't call the police.
Fair enough.
What the host said. What the host said. Chime in real quick, man. Can you back that up, brother?
Well, that's what we would
Can you back
expect,
that
right,
up,
brother?
bro?
And I think
Can you can, can you let them know
I got more
like what we
support
stand
for the
on,
Bay
man? We don't
Area.
call the police. That's
I,
police shit.
I
I'm not
get
from
this.
that.
Right. But even I guess I have to hold the Bay Area, Oakland down for that because they do live by that. You know, we got a lot of fake street niggas not living by the code and
We
and
don't
going
call the
about. But
police.
you know what it is though. You know what it is though. Crash out. I think it's the same kind of mentality about. Okay, Black Americans, we used to getting the police call. We used to getting locked up. We used to being
Exactly.
targeted. So now it's your turn. Now it's
Mhm.
your turn. That's how they flip it on us. They go, well, now you feel what we feeling, and it's kind of like this payback kind of sentiment, bro. And I don't dig it either. You know, I'm not saying it's all of them, but this is what we're getting when they want to be ICE agents. They want to cosplay as Homeland Security and tell people who's here, what are you, where you from. Like they set tripping on us.
All right, so I'm not gonna go too far into that because however they feel is how they feel. I'm from Oakland, California. People on this app know who I am. Check this out. I don't stand with calling the police on nothing. That hey man, I gotta walk in the gut of my neighborhood. That's a rat. We call them rats. So I don't know why they doing it. It could just be a roast because it's a lot of ill will things being said on both sides. Now back to what I'm trying to get trouble to understand is this. Your people had over 60 years to have a conversation with Black Americans, for one, right? Over 60 years. Why now? So I'm just throwing these out here, right? Because what's going on
We
inside
haven't
our
even been here
community.
that long.
Well, I'm just saying the overall 30 years, 60 years, however how many years you want to put on it, but you still have that amount of time to assimilate with Black Americans, and y'all didn't.
Assimilate.
What do you mean your people crash out?
Yeah,
Which
but
people are
with
you
Black
talking about?
Americans, and what I'm saying is, you had years to have a conversation, and when I say that is, we don't have these kind of conversations throughout America. Not even the good of my neighborhood. We don't have no kind of connection to no kind of immigrants outside of Northern Mexicans in my community, and as I can see throughout America. You get what I'm saying? So when y'all first got here, y'all automatically delineated. Hold on, because this ain't nothing but a fact. I know you don't want to hear it, but it's a fact. When y'all first got here, y'all delineated. Y'all didn't assimilate with us. Y'all went over to the white people. You get what I'm
That's not
saying?
true
So
though. And
I don't
I was like, why
know.
you guys keep
And if
promoting
you
that?
all had have
Welcome,
integrated
Goddess.
with us
Can
and
you
stopped being
introduce
prejudiced
yourself?
against us, we would have told you, get your paper straight.
What?
We would have told you. Y'all
Can
would
you
have been
introduce
here.
yourself,
Those
Goddess?
are FBA talking points, though.
Can you
Crash out. Go. Hold
can you
on,
tell us?
Goddess. We gotta introduce you. Hold
no,
on.
this is where
Hold your
we
horse.
live. This is what I'm talking from what I seen, brother.
Oh, hold
I'm
on,
not
hold on. We
talking
want to
no
introduce
FBA nothing. I'm
Goddess.
saying from what I didn't see.
We want to introduce.
You didn't see
Listen, can I
immigrants
say
link up with white T people. That's what you're
No,
telling
no,
me.
I did not see no. This is not what I'm saying, brother. I think y'all miscomprehended what I said.
I came here
I'm
as
saying
an
y'all
immigrant,
don't assimilate, like
right?
y'all don't
And the
assimilate,
first
y'all
I
don't talk
came,
to us.
crash out. I,
We
when I
talk
came
to
to
Black
this,
Hold
people all the
on.
time.
Hold on,
Can I can
Meeks.
I
that's
can I
not
Meeks.
can I land
true.
real quick or
When
Yeah,
I
no?
yeah.
came here
Meeks,
as an
hold on. Hold on.
immigrant,
Hold on, Meeks.
Okay. Go ahead, Meeks. I'm gonna let the sister. She wants to say something. Go ahead, Meeks.
I was just saying this is a false talking point that you guys are saying. I came here as an immigrant, right? Yes, I was young. I went to school. In fact, I didn't even look at people as different. I went to junior high school. I went to predominantly black school. I went to junior high school, high school. My step family, they're all Americans, and I never looked at it like they were different. It was normal to everybody to be together. So where are you guys getting this from? That people came here and aligned with white people. I'm gonna tell you the honest truth. The first time I ever had a white person that's my age, close, like even talk to, was when I joined the military at 30 years old. Prior to that, all my jobs is all my school, all my friends, everybody is black, and that's just the reality
I'm
for most people living here.
Yeah, facts, Meeks. I'm gonna give Crash Out the benefit of the doubt to go on his point that there haven't been like hubs where people can come and talk like we're doing on
No
TikTok, you know.
connections. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
But even then, brother, that's all over the United States. It's been
Yeah.
very segregated. It's been even where integrated, but we're really segregated at the same time. So now's the opportunity to talk about these things, you know. But I'll give you that. I'll give you that one, especially
Salute.
in Oakland. But I'm gonna let you land, crash out, and I'll introduce Goddess. She wanted to say something.
All right, right on. I appreciate it. What I'm basically saying, there haven't been no connection from the time, the civil rights bill was passed that allowed migrants and immigrants to come to the country. So you say it sounds like an FBA talking point. Well, this is Black America talking. It's like there's no connection. There had never been a connection. So we say, why now? Now, when it comes down to deportations and everything that's going on, this goes back to us saying, look, we tried to tell y'all, even when we tried to talk to y'all, we tried to say, hey, don't trust them people. Y'all better not trust them people. We the ones with the PhDs over here when it come to fighting with these people. These people are snakes. They gonna turn around and bite you. That's why we don't sit in their politics. We fight from outside the politics. That's why our voice in America is so strong. Now, as far as sitting this out with the deportations, yeah, I believe that we could have got out in the streets and stopped it. That's a big fact. That's a big fact. It wouldn't be going the way it's going right now. Why? Because the power y'all say we don't have, we actually do have. They know what we gonna do. They know what we gonna do if we came outside and stopped it. Now, let me tell you why we not stopping it. Because it's time for y'all to stand up for yourselves and do what we do. Get what I'm saying? Do what we do. Fight them back. Don't allow these people just to do it. Don't just hold out your phones and record this stuff and post it all over social media. Fight them back. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
So
So let
again,
me give you a prime example real quick on what we do. Now,
you got a minute, crash out. Oh, sorry, brother. I didn't mean to.
Hold on, we
I
didn't
didn't
let
mean to mute him.
the
nah, he didn't
sister
mean to mute me.
speak yet.
I'm just trying to give y'all a
I didn't
prime
mean to.
example.
Give him a minute. Give him one more minute.
Yeah,
I just want
prime.
to say, if you want to be on the sidelines and cheerlead for us to stand up for ourselves, you know that's a lot. That's a lot. Crash out. But go ahead.
Nah. Look, this is what I'm saying. See, the thing about this came from Malcolm X, and we really don't follow the Malcolm X. We hear certain things they say, but we really study our scholars. It's you stop violence with violence in America. That's what America is built off of, right? So I'm gonna give you a quick analogy, real quick. Look what happened to Oscar Grant, right? Right? You know what we turned around and did out here. You know who Lavelle Mixon is? The host probably know who Lavelle Mixon is. Unalive 4 of them, wounded 5 of them. Fight back. You got to fight back. Start body slamming them like they doing y'all. Y'all can't see what's going on with the deportations and put it in our lab and say, hey, it's because of us this is going on. No, this
No,
ain't got
I don't
nothing
Yeah,
to
think
do
but
with
that's
us.
Crash out, you're
I don't
talking
think
out
that's
of
what
two
we're
sides of your
saying.
mouth,
Yeah, we're
though.
not gonna fight. We're not gonna fight the federal government.
You
If you
talking
feel me
out of
like
two
that.
sides of your mouth
Also,
because
We
you
fight them.
just said,
So,
yeah, but you just said a
again,
couple minutes
brother,
ago
you.
we're immigrants. The immigrants can't fight.
Yeah,
How
we gotta
think about it, how
simulate.
many
We
Why y'all
gotta
immigrants
can't
fight the
fight?
U.S.
simulate.
government to stay
Look,
in
bro.
their
We're not gonna
country?
we're not gonna tell that to our immigrant communities going
You
through what
can't
they're
fight.
going
I
through.
want to see y'all warriors.
Then it's even
Yeah,
more
bro.
reason for them to deport
You
them.
you can
It's like,
warrior up in the comments, my brother.
do
Okay,
you
so
know,
let me
like
ask
But
you
when
a
you,
quick. Let
hold on,
me.
Cash Out. All right, I gotta mute you, Cash Out. I gotta move on. Let me move on, man. I got the sister up there. Good,
yeah, she can hear
Goddess.
for while waiting.
Wait. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Thank you for being patient, sister. Go ahead and introduce yourself with your race and ethnicity, where you're from. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Goddess, and my ethnicity I claim FBA.
Welcome.
Okay, welcome to the panel. Go ahead and respond to anything that's been said or answer one of the questions on the prompt, sister.
Oh man, where do I start? I can't. It's a lot. Um, listen, like they had 60 years. They had 60 years, to commune with us, listen to us. We are the aboriginals of this land. And they came over here and they refused. If you all had came over here and showed love to us, we would have brought you completely into our community, but you didn't. So that's not what happened. But if you had have, we would have told you, you got your paperwork straight. Just like amongst our community, is your license straight? Did you get your GED? Did you get your, did you got, like we keep each other on each other's toes about stuff like that. Y'all don't do that. All y'all about is scamming.
Oh,
and finding how to
Yeah.
get everything for free.
All right, I'm
You know
gonna
what I'm
let the
saying?
sister
We
land.
are
We got a
very.
minute, guys.
I'm just saying we're honorable people, and it seems
Yeah.
like our country has been flooded with unhonorable people.
who would be unhonorable?
Who's
Okay.
scamming?
Hold on. Exactly. Hold on. My sisters. Hold on. Let me tell Goddess this, right? You can't be an FBA and Aboriginal at the same time. You can't go ahead and jump ship whenever you feel like, because FBAs don't claim your pretendian self. Okay. So that's something that you're gonna have to fight with the FBAs about. You're not gonna fight us. We African. We proud to be Africans. You can't take that away from us, right, sister?
Oh, you're African?
So again, sister, you had
I'm not trying.
500. You
I'm
had
not.
500
Listen,
years to deal with the white T man, and you are where you are. You're not civil. You're not part of the 5 civilized tribes, let alone being recognized by them. Okay, white T people are the true
you
pretendians
bi?
that have
Hold
the
on. Are
land,
you
that have
bi?
the land right, sister. Right. So your fight is against the white T man. It's not up against African immigrants or
You don't
Caribbean
even
immigrants.
sound FBA. Honestly,
It
honey,
don't
you
matter how
sound
I
like a
sound. It
white.
don't matter. See, that's
What?
how I know you're already brainwashed. You judge a book by its cover. It's okay.
Hi,
Can
I
we?
hear
Okay,
from
let's
your
take
This
a
is what
step
voice.
they
back,
say in
guys. Let's take a
defense. Every
step
time
back.
I'm
You
on your ass, they
not.
want to call me a white T man, and I sound white and blah blah blah
You
blah
do
blah.
because you are.
And
I feel like
that's okay,
this
sister.
isn't.
And
I feel
you
like
can
this
live it.
isn't
You can live in the comments too. But again, you
beneficial.
can't be an Aboriginal American Indian and claim FBA. I won't let you have it on this panel. Okay, go read up the FBA website. All right, and figure that out. Go ahead, Trouble. Introduce
No.
JD. I got you. Crash out. I got you, but we're gonna have to
Welcome
circle
back,
back.
JD. Can you introduce yourself for the people that are here that don't know you?
Just hold on 1 second. I'm getting off work right now. Just a minute.
Sure.
Can I say something regarding what that girl was saying?
Yeah.
Where she's
Go ahead.
saying if we had linked up with them, they would have said they would have
It's
asked us about
irrational.
GED. It
It's
just makes
nonsense.
no sense, and this tells you how far removed they are from the actual immigrant experience. They don't understand what it is for an immigrant to actually come here. Most of the time, they are undocumented for a long time. So GED is not in the picture. You can't get a GED if you're undocumented. So most of the time when they come here, immigrants come here, they don't have anything. They're just trying to find a way. A lot of times they may get a visa, or they may get sponsored, they may get married, or they get sponsored by a job. That's the only way they can get their papers. Otherwise, they're going to stay undocumented with the fear of being deported. They ain't got no time to think about, let me link up with the Black Americans to see if they can help me get a job and help. No, that's just not the reality. They're
I
just
just
not educated
understand,
on what
like,
it really means, like to what the immigrant experience is in this country when they first got here.
and we were like, I'll be honest with you, like, they were like, my folks are not from Minnesota. I was born in DC and then I was raised in Northern Virginia. There were Black people everywhere, and my mom talked to Black people, helped Black people out. Black people helped us out. So I'm like, this is just TikTok, you know. Like, I have not met someone unless they're containing it, like compartmentalizing like what's they're saying online. Like, I haven't met this like in
It
real
is.
life.
It is online. Trouble. It's all online. We can say the indoctrination system in America, racism has really worked because we have been programmed to think about foreign people, right? To think about Africa as less than. We know that. Just the same way Black Americans are like, well, you immigrants come here and you link up with the white T and you don't come to our community. You don't check in with us. Who the fuck needs it? Nobody needs to check in with nobody. They get through customs, they get through immigration. That's the only people they have to check in with, and then they try to live their life here. Okay. Now, are there obviously there's bad apples. Obviously there's people that come here and talk their shit, think they run shit. We're going to do our best to check them. There's nothing that we can do about
Man,
that.
y'all don't do y'all. Y'all do not
Again,
check
hold
them.
on,
Hold on,
hold
why are
the
you
fuck
crashing
on,
out?
hold the fuck on. So hold on. At the same time, Americans get okay. So at the same time, immigrants they get told don't hang out with they get told by who knows who. You guys always make up these scenarios about how they get told not to fuck with you, but more than that, their parents tell their kids don't hang out in that corner with them people out there in the streets. I want you inside. I want you back in here. We're not saying the people on the corner are the Black American community. Everybody has their bad apples. When immigrant parents don't want the kids outside and hanging out with the bad kids, same with Black American families that say the same thing to their kids. They say, don't go out there, don't hang out with this crew, don't hang out with that crew. Come back home safely. It's not to shit on Black Americans, but it depends on what hood you in, what projects you in. Obviously, everybody gets filled into these lower income communities, that Black Americans happen to be in, obviously.
And that's
And
fact.
everybody's aspiration is to get out the hood. Some people want to
That's
stay in the hood
fact.
all their life. That's up to you. But some people
You
aspire to get out of this situation. It's an environmental kind of situation, not to say that we hate. Think about what Black Americans do when they get rich and get that money. They leave the fucking hood. They move into suburbia. They move in with YT communities. Everybody, all Black Americans do that shit. Tell me one Black American that stayed in the hood after they got rich. So I don't want to hear that. But
Honestly,
here,
exactly.
I'm
And
a
bro, I'm
the
still in the hood, but I don't live in the
the
hood.
the
You know what I'm
comments
saying? So you're right.
nah,
I'm
I ain't
still in the
knocking you.
neighborhood.
Hey, I ain't knocking on that crash out.
the
You know what I
comments
mean?
that are like, we told y'all and stuff, like it's a little bit condescending because we come from a continent that was colonized. So it's like, what could you tell me that I don't already know about these dogs? Like it's the people our parents warn us about when we go outside.
Right.
Like
And let me say this, Trouble. Somebody said this in the comments. I just have to get this. Yes, there's affluent Black communities. Yes. Baltimore, Atlanta,
right.
you name it, right? No one's saying that there isn't affluent Black Americans that have their own communities, but it's not the majority, right? And we can also recognize that every time Black Americans got together to build their own, it was always destroyed, right? It was always destroyed by the white man, not by African immigrants or Caribbean immigrants, okay? Haiti was the example. You had a Black town in America dedicated to Haiti because of what Haiti was doing for Black people globally. And Black Americans saw that as inspiration and motivation, called their towns Haiti, okay? So as Black Wall Street. So don't come in here with that. We're not punching down on Black Americans and what they've done, and we're not overlooking what happened to them and the economically capped today, and that's where we find themselves, and we can't punch down on Black Americans either.
Yeah, let's be honest.
Just to be
Everybody wants
fair.
better for themselves. Like, I don't know why we're sitting here and waffling about this. Every community wants better for themselves.
The
That's just
thing is,
natural.
y'all came here, y'all was already on that. We stepped back and said, "Oh, okay." So we took a page out of your book and we said, "We gonna want better
On
for
what?
ourselves," and everybody started crying.
Already on
Listen,
what?
you're talking about delineating. Listen, delineation. We didn't
Yeah,
delineate.
don't
We
say
have
the
our
FBA
ethnicity.
though.
We came here,
Man,
the
FBA them
same people,
guys, boy.
as the same people that left Africa. Okay, it's not a delineation.
dra-
We have our
we
identities.
drag
We have our
FBA.
ethnicities. We have our
That's cool. That's
history. We have
cool.
our
And you left
ancestry.
it there though. You left it. We don't care
We
about
don't
it.
leave. We
You
didn't know.
left
That's
it.
the thing. You're not understanding. We didn't leave it back there.
You
It's
tried to
it's a
bring
part
it
of who
here,
we
but you
are.
see what happened.
No,
You see
we
what
did
happened when you
bring it
brought it here.
here. We did bring it here. We
Is it an
speak our
Okay, you
upside down,
did,
bro,
language.
or no?
and it's
Listen, at the
consequences
end
for
of the
that.
day,
And it's consequences. And you going, and now
listen,
you see it's
listen, however you
consequences.
feel about it, bring the
Right.
consequence, because
That's what I'm
whatever
talking. Okay,
issue,
that's what I
whatever
want to hear.
issue you
That's what.
have, whatever issue you have is your issue, right? I don't have an issue with you. I don't have an issue with Black people in America, but whoever has a problem with me, and the same goes for my community, we have a problem with you. Okay? You want to give us some truth? I'm telling you right now, we have truth for you as well. That's all I'm saying.
Your consequences on the
We will
chin.
take our
Okay,
consequences
then
just
don't
fine.
cry
But
about it.
just like you don't want people calling police on you, why are you calling
Yo,
ICE
just
on
stay
other people?
muted. Just stay muted. Nigga. Like, come on now,
Who you
Like,
mister.
talking to, African white boy?
what do you see? Some of y'all are just not
It's
normal.
all
You're not
right.
normal, brother. You're not normal.
They can live in the comments for
He
all we care. I don't
he's
care.
stepping. I can't
Let
say nothing
me
about how he feel. You feel
let
me?
me let me get to
Of course, that's his
let me get
problem. It's
to
his choice. But
yeah, let me get
it's
to
not my
JD.
issue. It's not my
Let me
problem,
get to JD.
right? Like I go through things. I don't come online and start crying about it to you. Black people did this to me. Black people did that. I don't do that. Everybody has to deal with their own situation.
Yeah, trouble's real humble.
And,
She ain't gonna cut. She ain't
and
gonna
let's be
go.
real, refugees are the last people that can do anything for you. They're probably leaving civil war. They're coming with one bag. They
Straight
probably have
warriors, bro.
kids, and they don't even have a standing here. And you
I
want that?
think
What are you expecting from them?
Hold on,
Are you
hold on,
sure they
Crash
speak
Out.
English?
I gotta let JD talk after Trouble lands.
Like what?
Go ahead, Trouble. Land.
I'm
I
done.
don't want.
Just
Okay. Yeah, y'all don't understand. Okay, you got refugees, right? You want to say we're fleeing our countries, and we got, most of those people leaving those, they fought all they could fight, and they had no other out but to come here and welcomed here by America, who was in part and parcel of destabilizing their nations. You guys always forget that shit. You also forget about the natural disasters that happen all over the world, and that's another pathway to come to America. What are you going to clown someone because they got a flood? They got flooded in. They have nowhere else to go. You're going to clown people? Oh, you
yeah,
fled from a natural disaster.
right.
Like, you're not going to do that. So stop it. You guys have no comprehension of what people go through out there. You would never understand it, won't ever understand it, and talking shit to them doesn't help. Those people, my father was part of the warfare that happened in Eritrea and Ethiopia, so you're a guerrilla, you feel me? Straight up guerrilla. So again, you try, go ahead and step up to them, please pull up on one of our African immigrants that come through like that. I mean, but again, it's not about that. We're not trying to do all that, but you guys always trying to test us, and you want to tussle and shit, but just keep it on TikTok because you don't
No,
want
you
to.
heard that guy. You heard what his issue is. His problem is that we came here and we had our ethnicities, we have our languages, we have our identities, and we didn't leave it where we came from.
Yeah. Nobody cares
He's
about
gonna
what
face
you
the
think.
consequences,
Yeah,
whatever that
nobody cares
consequence may
about what they
be.
think. What? Yeah. Again, they have a problem with their kids, the kids that they have here. They call us anchor babies. They call us tethers, but we were born here, raised here. Just like they want to get rid of Somalians, but 90% of them are American citizens. You cannot get rid of them. Go ahead and beg Donald Trump to get rid of the Born Act or birthright citizenship, right? Not nationalization. But you guys keep barking and talking shit about. It's not the same thing. Go read up on your own law, okay? Go read up on your immigration law before you try to act like ICE or Homeland Security up in here. But
You
here,
know,
I think where you missing it though, bro.
hold
I'm
on,
gonna keep it
Crash. Hold on. I gotta move on. I have to move on. I know I've been talking a little too much. I will have an open panel, I promise. Let's go to JD. JD, you still there?
I think he said he was getting off. He'll be back.
All right.
Welcome, Byron.
Trouble. Let's go ahead. Okay, Crash, you got a minute, okay? I'm gonna give you a minute.
All right, I ain't gonna be long with it. But see, the thing is this: it goes back to what FBA said, and what they talking points is like you say. Y'all went through natural disasters. Do you not know it circles back to that civil rights bill that allowed immigration, period, overall. Now, far as
Listen,
far as birthright citizenship, here we are again telling you again when it comes to the naturalization and the birthright citizenship, all that falls under the 14th Amendment. These laws and policies was passed under this amendment. So here it is again. We say, hey, y'all need to be looking at this because y'all feel like because I was born here that they can't do nothing to me. No, they're going back to the 14th Amendment of the constitutional law, which falls under everything that was granted to you to be naturalized and to become a citizen. That's what we're trying to explain to y'all, but y'all not hearing it again. So when it happened again.
All right. Crash Out. Once again, my brother, you got to remember, you didn't write the Civil Rights Act. Yes, you had a part in it, but you're not the gatekeeper of it. You're not customs. You're not border patrol. You didn't get to decide who got in here or who did not. Nobody asked Black Americans their approval about the wave of European immigrants that got in here. How the YT woman got her rights through your civil bill. On top of that, my brother. Oh my God, I forgot my point. On top of that,
He's talking about the 1950 bill.
Can I go
But
out?
go ahead. But go ahead.
hold on. No, you
You got
can't.
two
No, you
different
can't
bills.
say.
He's talking about the 1950 bill that.
Hold on. Okay, let me try to remember what I was trying to say. You were saying about how
These are for
we should be
the
remembering about how.
work
Okay,
they did
so
for the
okay,
14th
okay.
Amendment.
I got it. Thank you, Trouble. So you remember about the 13th Amendment? Forget about getting deported. They're actually giving us money to go get deported back. They're giving us $1,000 in our pocket to go get deported, right? But what do they do to Black Americans? You get detained, you get locked up. The 13th Amendment abolished slavery, but guess what else it did? It had an exception. If you were a criminal, they found you doing any kind of criminality, you get re-enslaved. That's what the 13th Amendment did. So maybe deportation does sound better than being re-enslaved into our school to prison pipeline, getting sent back to the plantation to work pennies on the dollar. And don't even talk about all the things that happen to Black American communities here in America and how there's a recidivism rate that always gets us back into prison, which is slavery. Let's not forget that. So you can talk about the 14th Amendment all you want, but you still got that 13th Amendment ready to re-enslave you, and you go back to jail, you go back on the plantation. So I rest my case. Go ahead, Trouble.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly, listen, it's sad that America went through a period where Black Americans had to fight so hard for basic human rights, right? To be treated like people, to be acknowledged as citizens of this country. But the result of that meant that this 14th Amendment, this law is for everybody now. You know what I mean? What I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? It's like, are you walking it back? Are you saying like we can take it from you? What is the point in the argument? Refugees
Okay.
come here.
Oh, she's still talking. Go ahead.
Refugees come here, right? They're coming from whatever situation they have back home. I don't know if it's all like I don't know if like who's coming here because of a natural disaster, whatever. A lot of us come from places that have been destabilized directly by this government, and the government knows. That's why they're bringing an abundance of us here. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand
Exactly. And
what
that's the sorry, Trouble. Go ahead.
I just don't understand what the expectation is for refugees who are basically starting over to do. Like,
They
what do
don't
you
care
want from
about that Trouble.
refugees?
They give a flying
That's what I'm saying.
flying. Yeah,
Like you
they
can
don't
keep
care.
saying it until you're like blue in the face. Like we did the work.
They only
But
parenting the
What
white
it is,
T man that wanted them out to begin with, right? So I'm gonna move on, Trouble. I'm sorry. Let me JD, are you back? You teacup to get. I mean, we keep missing JD. JD, you there? If not, we're gonna move on to Byron. Oh no, sorry. Sewa was next. Sorry.
Thank you.
Sewa.
Hey, yeah,
Assalamu
Salahi.
alaikum, sister. Assalamu
Walaikum
alaikum.
salam.
Welcome to the panel. Can you introduce yourself with your race and ethnicity and where you're from?
I'm Black. My race is Black and my ethnicity is Somali, and I'm from the United States.
Okay, welcome to the panel. Go ahead and
Thank you.
respond to.
I want to respond to Crash Out. I don't understand what this fixation is with FBA and the Black immigrants. Right now, the Trump administration has authorized in the previous year that they will bring over 7,500 refugees from South Africa, a country with no disaster going on that is prospering, right? And they're not bringing all South Africans, they're only bringing white South Africans, and they're classifying them as refugees. I am so sick of the FBA, not the Black community. I love the Black American community, but these FBAs that have been stuck on tether, like, I don't understand if that's supposed to be an insult. I don't understand what, like, the meanation of that. And if the Trump administration goes back on the 14th Amendment, I'm most likely it is not going to affect these individuals. And for the individuals saying that we're jealous, right now, your entire delineation, even though I don't even agree with that word, it makes no type of sense, because what are you delineating from? We have never been the same ethnicity. FBA has never been in an ethnic group. It has not been recognized. Instead of the Black Americans that are in the FBA community, instead of them requesting to have their ethnicity recognized, they are over here insinuating that individuals
nobody's lying about their ethnicity. We are racially categorized the same way. So instead of FBA having a problem with the government, instead of FBA lobbying, instead of FBA actually looking to get those laws overturned, they are literally bandwagoning off white tea supremacy, and they're not even speaking about the white teas that are coming. Most of the land in Somalis are racially black, I'm sorry, but anyways, most of the land in South Africa is owned by white teas, Dutch South Afrikaners that believe in apartheid. So the fact that these individuals are getting a free ride to America,
Right, that's what's coming.
like,
That's what's coming here.
yeah, I don't no, they're still coming here, and they've been coming here for a while, and they are getting mad at Trump talking about, oh, deport, 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 like the FBA community was not deported after the Emancipation Proclamation to the African state Liberia, which was created for Black Americans of African descent going back so they can get back to their African roots. Liberia was established as a state of free slaves from the United States of America. So they did get deported, or they sought deportation themselves. But what I'm trying to understand, why nobody has been able to get it over their ignorant heads, that even if you don't like these colored individuals that are in the same race as you, they have no effect on you. Instead of, again, lobbying, they are on social media and making false propaganda and spreading lies. And I don't understand what they expect once the human rights violations go up, especially, like you said, the schools to prison pipeline. I don't understand. And then they keep on talking about, oh, we can't deport it. Like, again, Liberia, when you talk about delineation, we have never been recognized. There is, whatever ethnic group you are, there's no ethnic group for Black Americans. So instead of them running around with this whole delineation, we've never been tied. It's recognition of an ethnicity. So their thing is they need to really look in the mirror, because they're not YT. They're giving white supremacy and MAGA. And the thing is, if they really cared about immigration, they'd talk about the YTs. And if they cared about fraud, they would have used that energy, instead of looking for false propaganda, they would have used that energy to get some real information.
Yeah, no, they're not doing that. Listen, Louisiana is rogue right now, right? You're right. Like, you're completely right. It doesn't matter if you're like Mexican, if you're like Native, you're like Black, Somali, whatever. They take you to Louisiana, you either going back to your roots or somewhere else out of the country, or you're going missing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a woman.
Sorry, Trouble. Have you seen any FBA talking about white South Afrikaners that have been allowed? You guys can pull up the documentation. It is public record. They're supposed to bring 7,500 white South Afrikaners every quarter.
They ain't worried about
okay
them.
with that.
They're not worried about them.
We okay with that. So what
They ain't worried about them.
exactly now? No, let him speak. Can you guys let him speak? Let him crash out, because if he's okay with that,
crash
it's
out.
really
Hold
just
on.
about race.
No, say. Hold on. Both of you, hold on. No crashing out on my panel, guys. Let's just keep it respectful. Crash out. Thank you for being here, Crash out. You're the only FBA I'm gonna let up here. You know, we got Brian too. I forget if he was FBA or not.
Right on.
But I can only take on one FBA at a time. but maybe we can convert. Maybe we can convert Crash out. But I just want to say this: they're
You breaking up, host?
worried about right. Oh shit.
There you go. We can hear you now. We can hear you.
My bad. All right. I said that they don't have any smoke for the white tea establishment. They want to go. It's them. It's FBA against the world, right? Because they're going up against all immigrants, let alone the white tea man that has their knee on their neck. Okay, let alone all these other. They want to delineate for the reason of getting a check from the white tea man, thinking that they're going to get something. Not that they don't deserve it. They deserve something. But you've been deserved 40 acres and a mule, never got it. I don't think all the delineation right now, all that hate, all that spew, not that all FBAs do it, but I don't think that's working out. I don't think the white team man's going to recognize your xenophobia. He's just going to be like, all right, good. You did what I expected you to do. He's not going to give you a cookie. There's no reward. There's no stimmy check. I hope you get it, but I don't see it happening. So with that, let's go ahead and introduce Byron. Byron, welcome back up, my brother. Introduce yourself with your race and ethnicity, where you're from.
So I'm from Houston, Texas. I'm 100% FBA. Here's the thing, man. I think a lot of this boils down to you ever heard the statement, freedom and benefits without sacrifice breeds entitlement? I'm gonna say that again. Freedom and benefits without sacrifice breeds entitlement. And I think what's happening is, is we looking at this situation like, man, we did the sacrifice, right, for y'all to come over here and not appreciate it and be entitled, have a very entitled mindset as it relates to your position in this country. Number one. And then number two, I think, many Africans, right? Because I got to speak to this, because there is a difference between some of the immigrants that we bring over here. There is a difference. We have some who come here, contribute, and assimilate instantly. These people come over here within one generation. They speak the language, they contribute, they're patriotic, they're interested in the success of America. Opposed to some immigrants who come here, they're dual agents, they act as Trojan horses, they don't have any desire to see America prosper, to assimilate, to work with their fellow man here in the country and work as a collective. They're only interested in their own group, and that to me is the reason why Africa fails. Africa fails because they are so divided. They are so
Africa's a continent.
tribalistic. I'm speaking to the whole entire continent right now.
That's crazy.
I'm speaking to the whole. There is no truly successful countries in Africa, in the
Based
continent
on
of
What
based on
Africa.
who's measuring it.
Byron, what happened to you? I thought, Byron, you came up here with
Yeah,
your chest up right now. I remember
I'm
you
just giving.
yesterday.
I'm just
You weren't speaking like this. You weren't speaking like this
brother.
yesterday. But go ahead.
Nah,
Go
man.
ahead, brother.
Listen, man. Listen. I want. Listen. Let me go back to this. I want to see Africa successful. So let me speak from this premise. I want to see a successful Somalia, Nigeria, Gambia, Kenya. I want to see all of these countries be successful. I know also that here's the deal. You were speaking about natural disasters. Do you know how many natural disasters we have
I wasn't talking
in
about natural
America?
disasters.
Hold
There's
on one
crash
second.
out. Crash out
Somebody.
was.
Okay, but I'm just saying. You know how many natural disasters we done survived in America?
I was speaking about it,
What you
but
what you
again,
talking
Brian,
about?
Brian,
shit.
no, hold on. I was speaking. Hold
Can
on,
you make
Brian.
a comparison to the Jewish community in New York?
Sister. Hold on, sister. I brought up natural disasters, right? But again, African immigrants, any immigrants, Caribbean immigrant, any immigrant is not responsible for them natural disasters that were not
Bro,
even natural.
that's not my point. Let me make my point on
Hold
that.
on, Brian. Most of those disasters were were created just like Black Wall Street, just like Lake Lanier, okay, just to run you guys out of those areas. But no immigrant was at fault for that, my brother. And once again, I'll tell you this: for you to ask, you didn't suffer the same way. You as an FBA, as a Black American, you immigrants did not suffer from the whip from the white team man the same way we did. So now we want you immigrants to suffer the same way we.
Nah, brother.
Why the fuck did the civil rights happen? If you guys led the way, why the fuck if we have to pray? If we show recognition, if we say these brothers did everything here in America for us to come here, we're grateful for it. You know,
That's a good start. That's a good start.
Hold on now, Byron. We honor what has been laid, the foundations that have been laid for us to even get here. How do you flip that around and say you got to suffer the same way that we suffer? It just doesn't make sense.
Nah,
It just doesn't
nah,
make sense.
Literally
it
just
ain't none
made
of
that
that.
up. That has nothing to do with what I
You
said.
started
My
with
point.
you started
My,
with saying the hard work or it breeds like entitlement. I don't know. I
Okay,
forgot what
what
the
I meant
sentence
by
is.
that, what I meant by that is we did the work. We made the sacrifice for you to come here and feel entitled and look at us
We're
as
not
if,
entitled.
hold on one
We're
second.
not
Y'all
entitled.
are
It's
very
your
entitled.
your
No,
opinion
no,
that we're
no.
entitled because we
No,
didn't
no. I can
simulate the
tell
way
you
you
how.
want it.
Listen,
I
one
can
at a
tell you
time.
how.
I'm
I
gonna
can give you
learn too.
facts.
It's one at
I
a
What
can
about
give
the
you
time.
Indian
facts.
immigrants?
I can give you facts on that. Here's the deal. So number one, I want to say this. I want to go back to the natural disasters piece. America has had natural disaster after natural disaster. Y'all ever heard of Katrina? Y'all ever heard of these big floods that we have here in America? We just rebuild. We don't run. We don't go
Who
nowhere.
ran?
Hold
Who's
on one
running?
second. Hold on one second. All the immigrants, they run to this country.
Natural disaster is
Hold
different
on
than
one
Oh my
second.
colonization.
God.
Hold on. Just let me.
Well, you got a minute, Byron. We
let
got
me
you.
speak.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to fucking mute you. Sorry, Byron. Unmute yourself. I meant to put a timer on you. Go ahead.
All I'm saying is this, man. We've had wars in this country, civil wars. This country has not been the beautiful America that we all enjoy today. It just didn't happen like that. We fought. We listen. It's not been easy to make what we have here. And what I'm saying when I say freedom and sacrifice. Freedom and benefits without sacrifice breeds entitlement is because you don't appreciate what went into it. Because if you did, you would be calling out those people who stole that money in Minnesota.
We do. We did.
No, y'all don't.
Back when it
No, y'all don't.
happened.
Y'all
Back
deflect.
when it
Y'all
happened. That's
deflect.
I
what we
think
did.
y'all
No,
wanted us to be
Oh
quiet.
my God.
Hold on. Y'all deflect.
Listen, Byron, respectfully,
The
No,
whistleblowers were
respectfully,
Somali.
no,
The
no. Here,
whistleblowers were Somali.
here.
listen, respectfully,
Say Wallahi. I will let say Wallahi. Trouble. Go ahead and land. But let me say this to Brian.
Though.
No,
you're just
you had a
yapping now.
minute.
You're just flapping
You
your
had a
mouth.
Can I
minute.
please
Sorry.
say one thing?
You can't. Hold on. Give me a chance. Byron. You had a minute.
Yes.
It's over, brother. I'm sorry I put 3 up there. Sorry to misconstrue.
It's so condescending to hear
But
some of
hold
this
on,
shit.
yeah, Byron. Again, your assumptions about what Somali people did, what immigrants did, is your anecdotal thing, And so, please stay away from that because we can do the same. We can say the same. We don't want to go back and forth like that. That's not an intellectual dialogue. If we're gonna come up here and generalize all people, right? So let's refrain from that. Trouble, go ahead and then say Wallahi and then crash out. Thank you for being patient. We're gonna get right to you after say Wallahi. I promise.
No, were you talking to me? You're talking to say Wallahi.
You can go. Go ahead, Walala. You can
No,
go
I'm
first.
finished. I just
Oh, okay.
yeah, I'm done.
Okay. I understand the point you were making about like building and working, but I think that it could come off it comes off a little weird because a lot of the people that immigrate to the United States are fleeing war. And a lot of times in literally conservative podcasters like Ted Tucker will tell you that the United States intervenes. But regardless of that, I want to step back to when you say assimilation. Again, I think that's still like you guys really need to look in the mirror because there's an entire block of the Jewish community and they have their own precinct. In New York, in Chinatown, there are government offices and precincts that have Chinese writing. In Washington, like the PMW, where they have a lot of Asian Americans, they have it in I don't want to say Chinese, but whatever language of Asia. They literally have it on the stores, on the banks. Like you'll see a US bank that's in English and also in Japanese, but you're in America. What you sound like you literally just listened to an ex-con that's married to an immigrant that is also, if we're really talking about fraud, he has pardoned over $16 billion of fraudsters, tax evasion. You can look up, he's also pardoned a guy that stole $30 million from a nursing home. Or nursing home facilities. So is it like let's just stop lying. Like what is the issue? Because if it's about fraud, if it's really about calling out the Somali fraud too, the whistleblowers were Somali. It was ran by a German American woman that pitched the idea of fraud. And right now, the good thing about our community is we don't give two fucks. Okay, maybe it's the immigrant.
When that situation happened, I remember our community even becoming tribalist the way we were going
it started
at each other.
fighting. But right now, there are newscasters, and there are some articles that have been published now that are actually showing the individual. And her boyfriend was FBA that ran multiple food programs, and there were also 2 FBA. One of them, her name was Sharon. I think I have her picture posted. I think for me, being a Somali, American of the black race. I really think it's disappointing sometimes to hear this type of stuff, because in Minnesota, there were 2 incidences where individuals of the FBA ethnic group attacked elderly, Somali, and disabled people, robbed them. It's not deflection. I'm just giving you a point. And we never used the hate crime statute. So the point I'm just making is everything, like you said, assimilation. The Italians have their own neighborhood. The Jews have their own neighborhood. The Chinese, they assimilate. They do marry. But same with us. You're looking at what an ex-con who is a second generation German American immigrant, right? You're listening to his rampant BS. Again, Operation Gold Rush. It's the same time. It's $100 billion European. At least in the Minnesota fraud, all of them were ethnically Somali, but they were Americans. The money did not leave America, right? But we have Europeans that are on the run. And everybody in the room and everybody on the panel, Operation Gold Rush. When you talk about the food program, there was a Mississippi fraud case. Same type of thing. The same timeline in Mississippi. Government officials were implicated. $700 million. And guess who was involved? A Green Bay Packers quarterback and a wrestling person.
Brett Favre. Brett Favre.
Yeah, Brett Favre is somebody else. So it's like, what is it? Like, I think what they're mad at is the fact that whether it's Somali, whether it's Nigeria, whether it's the immigrants, we don't give 2 fucks. It's not about cheating the system. The difference between immigrants is they will literally eat bread and jam. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm just going to be honest. They don't sit here and buy $200 J's. They don't sit here and smoke that Black and Mild here and there. They don't buy them $10, $15 Newports, right? They're not trying to cop a fifth of Henny every day. Literally, you will see 3-4 people in a room and one person will open a business. The other crowdfunds them. We support each other regardless of the immigrants, right? Within their community. And that's what the Chinese do. That's what the Jews do. That's what the Italians do. But another thing is, I would love for the 2 FBA individuals, since they're so concerned about immigrants, right? Because the Japanese Americans that were put into the internment camps and the PNW, because it's really embarrassing right now how you guys are trolling people that are melanated. The Japanese Americans that were locked up during World War II got reparation before you guys. They got reparation literally after World War II and after the Jewish community got international reparation. Is it about immigration? Is it about reparation? If we're going to talk about immigration, 40% of the American public, per the U.S. Census, are descendants of immigrants that came through Ellis Island. Again, on my page. So what's the issue? The Japanese can they answer that question? Actually, can Bryson and Akarsh, FBA, why are we the issue when the Japanese got their reparation? We did not stand in your way. We weren't even barely here. And then the Patels, the Indians, right now our immigration problem it's in India. They're getting all them visas and they make sure they only hire themselves. They get all the corner stores, they get all the hotels, and then they call the police and unalive y'all children for $1, like little Debbie snacks or some little Nowlators. You know what I mean? I'm not even trying to be in the show. With all of you'll never ever
And we
see.
burn this motherfucker down too.
But I
We
know
cost
what
them
you
over
mean.
200 billion every
As
time
you
they do
should.
I
it.
know, but then that's only
See
that's
the
the ISIS.
power?
But listen, but that's the
See the
only ISIS.
difference?
But we've never done anything other
The
than you guys,
difference.
but just actually get to the
Touch one of
bag.
ours, we burn America. Why you
But
think y'all
crash
calling
out.
for us to come outside?
Crash
Excuse
out.
me?
Listen, crash out, right? My
Over
question to you
who?
is crash
Rodney?
out.
OJ?
Crash out. And guess who did? Remember the girl that the little girl that the Asian lady unalived in LA right before the Rodney King thing. But my point to you guys is like we've
We
never.
burnt it down.
I know, but
Yeah,
crash
the
out.
Asian-
But
the
crash out.
Asian
You
That's
don't
an
slave.
see.
expensive body. We okay with
I know.
that?
Crash out. My point to you is you never see us attacking y'all like that.
Right.
We're okay with you guys getting recognition, right? But it's really given anti-blackness and stuff because literally the Japanese got their forget the stores y'all burned, right? Are there any hate laws? Are there any anti-blackness laws? Are there any lobbyings going in? Were y'all on social media coming at their whole ethnicity? No. If you really think about it, Baby Fat was popping then, and Russell Simmons had a half Asian chick. Let's really be real. And all these little girls had a little Chicana. Let's really be real. That was cute. Everybody wanted a little melanated mulatto. But my question to you guys is, the Japanese Americans got reparation right after World War II. and
Okay, that's
immigrants,
between two countries, right?
bro.
Right?
Chinese Americans,
Bro,
Chinese Americans, the same
they,
That was
way.
between two countries, right?
no, listen to me. In World War II, the people that were Asian,
What happened to
Japanese
them?
looking, they took
The
them to,
model minority.
hold on. So everybody was like, oh, these people, since the United States was in World War II, they were like, oh, they're gonna be double agents, oh, they're funny, or they're thieves, or they're that. They locked them all up. They put them in internment camps. They took them all from the West Coast, and they took them to PNW, the Pacific Northwest. They took them to Puyallup, Washington, and they put them in camps, right? And then what they did, they gave them reparation after that.
Right.
We weren't even
Why?
here,
Because they
bro.
was at war
No,
with
they
their
were
No.
like,
country, right?
no, they
No.
weren't out. They took Americans. The Japanese were here in the 1800s. You know that, right?
Yeah,
Right.
these were Japanese Americans that got
Yeah.
reparation from their own government. The United States had
The
nothing to do with
United States
Japan
paid for
for a
them.
war.
You see what y'all don't, but this is what y'all don't understand.
No, we
Like she
understand.
said, y'all
Answer
don't
You
my
have
don't
no
question,
smoke
though.
for the
understand.
white
Trouble, give me a
people.
second. Can you answer my
This what
question,
she don't
Crash Out?
understand. Hold
Stay
on,
well,
hold on.
Lahi. You
This
have to
what
let
she
him
don't.
respond. Go ahead,
This
Crash Out.
this is what you don't understand. You said we ain't got smoke for white tea people. They bringing over 10,000 South Americans. That's not our company. You got to
Is what?
understand that America. Look, hold on, we're gonna go to America. What it looked like in 1950 before that first bill was passed for white immigrants that the hosts keep talking about. You got two different kind of civil rights bills we're talking about. It's America was black and white, black Americans and white Americans, or however you want to classify it.
So
Because
you're
that's what
okay with them
hold
coming?
up, hold up, hold up. Let me land. Don't cut me off because you ain't gonna understand what I'm saying if you keep interjecting. So I'm going back to what America used to look like before immigration, right? You got two different kind of people that's in this land
White tea
before
were
immigration.
immigrated here, my brother, just like black
Yeah,
Americans were
I
immigrated
know. This
here.
is what I'm saying. These is the
Okay.
only two races that was in this country. And the 1950 bill was the one that got them over that you keep referring to, not the civil rights bill that we pushed to get immigrants to. So we talking two different bills now. We talking history. So we're going to look at America for what it was in 1950 in the 40s before immigration, far as migrants coming in, far as who look like us and everybody else. There was only two races here, and we've been had smoke for them. So let me tell you what it's gonna look like when the South Africans come over here now. See, that's not our company. That's the white tea people company. That's
Oh, so
their
you
job.
so
Hold
you
up, hold up. That's
so you
their
took
job
issue
to
with
keep. Hold
us
on. It's
because we're
their
your
job
company.
to keep them in check. Now, if they don't keep them in check, you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna get spanked, just like these white tea people got spanked out here. We're not gonna sit up here and act like these white tea people just been stepping on us like that. Now we've been fighting them. You get what I'm saying? We've been stepping on them physically. We've been fighting them morally through the courts. So we're not gonna sit here and act like what we've been going through in this country, on this land, on our land with these white tea people been a clean landslide, because that's a lie. That's the damn lie. So if you got a notion in your head,
What is a
hold
lie?
on,
Can you
if you
please
got a
clarify?
notion in your head that what South Africans is gonna come over here and something is gonna change for us, no, you know what is gonna happen? They're gonna get smoked. When I say smoke, I ain't talking about just some regular what we doing now. No, they're gonna get
But
smoked in
they're
these
still
streets.
coming though. Listen, my thing is, why do you have a
That
problem
ain't
with
got nothing to do
immigration?
with us.
But
That
why do
don't
you have
have
a problem
anything to
with?
do with
Okay,
us.
what does it have to do with you people? Like he's deporting naturalized citizens. He's deporting immigrants. Why are y'all
That's
so
because
poor?
y'all came here
Listen,
under
no.
that law.
Let
Y'all
me
was our
clarify.
company.
Let me clarify, but Crash out, please, respectfully, right? Can you please answer why you have a problem with immigrants of color being deported for no reason, and white immigrants coming from a country that they're prospering? The only reason they're leaving South Africa is because they're being told to return the stolen land that they took during apartheid. Can
Yeah.
you please clarify that?
Hold on. You got to go a little bit more in depth. What you mean that I'm okay with deportation for no reason? No, it's a reason for it.
No,
Now, if
he's
you
really
come,
deporting
hold on. If
everybody
you
though.
come here, listen. Let me tell you my position. That way, we won't get me confused with somebody else. If I don't have a problem with any immigrant coming into this country the right way, getting their status correct the right way, and doing better for themselves the right way. I'm American. And I'm totally fine with that. But if you're coming
Okay.
over here illegally, hold on. If you're coming over here illegally and you're doing shit that's gonna get you deported, that don't have nothing to do with me. That's on you. And yes, I will stand for that. If you're not here correctly, no, you gotta go. Why you
Well,
gotta
I
go?
think we
Because
all
hold on,
stand for
because
that.
hold on. The reason why I said you gotta go if you're illegal, because now I got a burden. You telling me that I gotta go in my pocket and pay for you? See, you need to look at how America actually runs. You need to look at how America's actually been affected from illegal immigration. You get what I'm
Okay,
saying?
I agree
That's
with
where
you.
I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it. So if you came over here correctly and you did your damn thing and you got your papers together and all that and you thriving in America, salute to you. This is what my people push for. But we did a push for y'all that simulate and come over here with us. Why? Because y'all are company. Meaning we burden some of the responsibilities on what happened to you, what you go through, and everything else that comes along with you. We're gonna stand with you. Right? Hold on. So going back to your South African thing, if they come over here, that's them white tea people company. If they don't check them, we are. We're going to spank them like we spank them. That's their
Okay.
job to say, hey, don't fuck with them black African dudes, them black Americans. Don't do it. Because
Okay.
they gon'
So you're
they
saying
gon'
we
smash.
Okay, Trouble, can
so
I
you're
ask him?
saying
Hold on,
we
Trouble,
we are your
please,
company?
please. I want to ask Crash Out a question. I think we're going to. So Crash Out, you said I agree with you 100%. I think everyone supports legal immigration. And right now, if you look into our immigration stats on like the Department of, I think it's Department of Homeland Security, right? Or S, but, or you can even Google it. Right now, our immigration problem are people that are jumping over the border and they're coming from Latin America. And our immigration problem is there are neighborhoods in Asia that they're only letting specific people come up. And those people have been coming and then they overstay their visas. So right now, our immigration, so if we're talking about like, and then also there are some fraudulent visa passports from certain Africans. Right now, I can speak to you as Somali Americans, right? We are not illegal. Majority of us, there's only 700 people that have temporary protected status that he took away. And that was individuals that came here earlier. Like we've been came to this country. So right now it gives that there's more to it because when you're saying, oh, the right way and everything, you have to understand just like those white tea immigrants, when they come here and they go through their medical evaluation and they're like, oh, you might need some mental health services or hey, you might need some evaluation because think about it, the people that came from a civil war were damaged. You'll see people in wheelchairs. You'll see people with missing limbs. You'll see people that have severe mental health problems. So those individuals, number one, will not contribute to the workforce. That's something that was already known, okay? And that's something that's also going to happen with these white tea immigrants, right? When it comes to working the system, honestly, I personally, with respect with you and Byron, it's giving that you guys are being fed or have listened to an ex-con who has also pardoned millions of billions of taxpayer dollars, right? So when the truth comes to light, and it will, numbers don't lie. There's a lot of fake numbers running around. But if you go just even search the graduation records in certain, because majority of the Somalis live in Minnesota. If you look at the universities, most of the people graduating are that. So I just feel like it's for me, I don't understand how a community that has been stigmatized by stereotypes and generalizations can jump by that bandwagon. One thing I do understand, hold on, give me 1 second. I understand, and I think every single immigrant that has grew up in this country or has any experience with how this country is systematically racist. I can't speak for the Caribbean individuals, but I could speak for individuals that come from Mother Africa or first or second generation descendants. Those individuals pull together so they can move forward. And those individuals do not openly campaign against FBA. They assimilate. You know what I mean? Because that's the only box, because they understand the stigma of it and the systemic racism. So for me, being a person of color, right? Right now, I'm not gonna lie, you guys can pull up on my account. I got so much trolling because right now it's Somali versus Mega. You know what I mean? I got so much on Mega, but a lot of things I did not pull up. I did not include the 2 FBA women that were in the food program, and nor did I include the fact that Trump, because if you guys really, and that's another thing, if you guys really FBA, no shade, Trump has been coming after Black Lives Matter and every single pro-Black American group, but this whole Tariq guy, him and this other Donnie guy, and I'm sorry, it seems that they're giving like they love their white tea side, are getting funding. You know what I mean? So what I'm trying to tell you, it's like, I understand as an American, I don't want to be undercut by anybody that's going to take it. Like, you know what I mean? And I'm not going to lie, like, honestly, I've seen the country decline, you know what I mean, financially, and we could do so many great things, but do you understand where it comes off? Like, because these white tees are going to come, they're going to get
Okay,
the
but
same type of
I'm
treatment.
gonna let him reply now.
Hold on. Okay, look. This is what I'm gonna say before I drop off. I'm gonna salute the panel. You know what I mean? Right on to the host. You know what I'm saying? For let me say what I was saying. But check it out. This is the only thing I can do is try to come up with some kind of solution to a serious problem, right? So we always say we trying to tell y'all something and y'all not listening, right? When y'all came here, that's like me asking my mama, hey, can my homeboy spend the night? I'm just putting it in layman's terms, right? And she said, yeah, now you become my company because you my company now, and I have to look out for you and look out for your well-being as well. But y'all didn't do that. So we trying to tell y'all something now. We like, look, y'all gotta start listening. It ain't to step on you or punch down to you. It's only to help y'all. But y'all turned that water off. We didn't turn the water off. We welcome them people. We welcome everybody with open arms. You know what I'm saying? We welcome everybody with open arms. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who the troll is up there. If y'all can mute him while I talk, I don't want to talk over it. You know what I mean? I don't want to keep going louder. But what I'm saying is this. It starts with everybody coming to the table the right way. You get what I'm saying? Now, if FBA, have you noticed how Donald Trump sounded like FBA? How you ain't noticing that he using FBA talking points, and like she just said, how he
He's trying to
attacked
get
BM.
the, yep.
Hold on. I'm trying to learn you something real quick. You get what I'm saying? You ain't noticed that how he's using FBA talking points, how he's on BML, Black Lives Matter, how she just said it, like how that's because one thing these white people know is we the shield. We the shield, right? You know the majority of Black Americans never accepted the term African American. He know that Black Lives Matter was some African American shit. Now, have you noticed that once FBA actually evolved online and these talking points and everything start popping up, have you noticed that once that actually got established, they start going after everybody with deportations? I need y'all to wake up on some shit. Think about it. Just think about that. Right when Black Americans say, you know what, we over here and we only claiming our lineage and only cleaning up our lineage on what we doing out here. We don't care about nobody else. You ain't see how they start attacking y'all? You ain't noticed that? You ain't noticed once Black Americans stepped away from the migrants and the immigrants, they went after y'all? Y'all can't clearly see that? So all I can do is say this. It's best that these kind of lives is good to host. You get what I'm saying? But we need some more lives that's going to say, hey, look, y'all, maybe these Black Americans know some shit we don't. We need to probably align with these people instead of using these white tea talking points and try to act like they actually second class. Because when you say we second class, we say second class to who? To who?
No, the brother came up talking about, oh no, I think it might have been you, to treat you guys like first class. That's what I heard. Second of all, we have Black Americans, we have African, we have Black, maybe not you, but maybe it was somebody. It was another FBA talking about treat us like first class. So I said you're not even first class, my brother. You second class, right?
But the thing is this,
white tees first class.
This is the thing.
But here.
This is the thing.
Let me. You've been talking.
This is the thing about it.
You've been talking. Let me just say, we're good with Black Americans. We got allies. We got no FBA allies. If you're the first FBA ally, well, welcome to the club. But we got no FBA. We good with Black Americans. We got Black Americans that don't subscribe to FBA. We got African Americans that don't subscribe to FBA. So we good out here.
Yeah, what I'm saying is this, though, host. At the end of the day, FBA ain't nothing but Black Americans. When you listen to the Black Americans, they're going to sound like they FBA, bro. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Black Americans, a lot of Black Americans, they shifted from Pan-African. It's just like Democrats and Republicans. Shit, you might be a Republican one day and then you shift over to the Democrat side. You get what I'm saying? So that's
the Black
all it is,
Americans
bro.
don't call us. The Black Americans don't call us tethers. That's the difference. That's how we know.
Come on, but you, but
We
see,
know in
but see, the
Hey,
thing
FBA
is
when we
this.
start hearing
Yeah, Black Americans don't
when
sit
we
up here
start
and tell
hearing
me,
See,
we
just
trying
go.
to tell y'all
when
what
we
to
I'm not
start
here
do.
for.
hearing
Look, I'm
tethering
not
and
here for the roasting
no,
points, bro. Them
crash out,
roasters, man.
that's not you. Crash out, that's
Them
not
roasting
you. That's not
points.
you.
They roasting y'all,
I'm
bruh.
just saying. I'm trying to make a difference between a Black American and FBA. It's not synonymous, all right. And I have enough
Nah,
Black
nah,
There
it
is
Americans
is
no
not.
online.
difference. There is no difference.
I got
It's
enough
it's.
Black Americans to tell you so. I got a lot of sisters that will tell you so as Black Americans.
But see,
I'm
the
a
thing is
black
this.
So
American.
miss me with that.
I'm a
No,
black
hold
American.
up,
I'm going to tell
because
you
I'm gonna
there's
drop
no
off the panel.
difference.
I'm gonna drop off the panel next. This is what I'm saying. If they say they FBA or not, they still Black Americans, and they gonna feel the same way. And it all falls under one umbrella. The
Then they still
Indians.
African Americans. Then
Hold
they're still
on. Look,
African
it goes
Americans
back to
too.
lineage. It just go back to lineage, American lineage. What was your? We've been here for generations. I don't have no ancestors in Africa. Get what I'm saying? I can actually go to the cemetery and see my people is my ancestors from the 1800s. You get what I'm saying? Sitting in the cemetery, bro. And it's a big fact. I'll go do it in a couple of days and come back and show you. You get what I'm saying? So it's all Black Americans. You hearing Black Americans now? Yes, the FBA term foundational because hey, we built this place. All I'm saying is this: is if I don't have to sit up here and call you tethers and roast you, bro. You get what I'm saying? I come up here for a political, nice conversation without the roasting. I got 1,000 of them just like you got 1,000 roasters, but what that's gonna fix? We got FBA steppers out there doing that right now, and it's only in response. They're not just putting their foot on people's neck like that for no reason. This is all that I'm in these lives. I hear them, bro. This should be all in response. Even when you go to Tariq Page or go to one of his lives, hey, how you doing, man? And hey, fuck you, Tariq, and now he on your ass. He responded. You get what I'm saying? So what you're seeing right now is a Black American response to all the negative shit we already knew was said about us behind our backs is actually being spewed now. So now you're getting the response from that, bro. And that's all it is to it. Me, myself, personally, I partake in the roasting sessions here and there, but it's just a roasting session. It ain't to mind or punch down on nobody. You call me a slave, baby, I call you a tether. You get what I'm saying? We just gonna roast. It don't affect me when you call me a slave, baby. You know what I'm saying? Because we know we the people of this land. Every Black American was not enslaved on this land, bro. You get what I'm saying? That's what a lot of migrants and immigrants don't understand. A lot of Black Americans was not enslaved on this land. You know what I mean? But it's a roast for y'all. Y'all use it as a roast. We look at it like, damn, that's some shit the white tea people would say. They know better not even to say some shit like that. You feel me? And bro, you in the Bay Area, you know what I'm talking about. They can't use the N-word like that with us, bruh. We breaking their jaws. Now say I'm lying, man. You get what I'm saying? I'm just saying, let's keep it 100, bro. They can't say no shit like that to us in these streets, man. We stomping them out. I come from that era, bruh. You get what I'm saying?
All
So
right,
we
thank
is
you,
showing
Cuddy.
y'all love.
Cuddy,
We
Cuddy.
is showing
Thank
y'all
you.
love
Thank
by
you,
not
Cuddy.
even doing nothing like that. And I'm gonna salute y'all and I'm gonna drop down. I'm gonna be in the comments
Thank you,
listening
my.
though.
Thank
I
you,
wanted to
boss.
Thank you,
share
Appreciate
something
you.
Cuddy.
too, host, if you don't mind. I definitely wanted to share what entitlement sound like, so y'all can just kind of get a general understanding of what that sound like. You know what I mean? But this is what it sound
Are
like.
you gonna cosplay? You're gonna
5
cosplay
times a
us as
day. Before it
entitled
was 80
people, or
cents.
No, I'm
They used to send
listening
us
to one of
back
your
in
Somali
Africa,
brothers
80
right here.
cents. Now
Don't
I get
even-
this EBT card loaded
All
each
right,
month
I'm gonna
with
let Trouble in
4 to
charge. Okay,
500. The
Trouble, mute his
freeloader, your
ass
favorite
if
freeloader.
he gets
I'm
crazy.
enjoying
No,
myself.
Yeah, I'm
I'm just
here.
listening to one of y'all
Enjoy this
brothers,
food.
kind of break down like how he
Taking
feel about
vacation here.
America.
I'm in my free house provided for me by Enhan. So I'm enjoying myself. Please do not disturb me.
So it's those kind of things that's what entitlement looks like. That is the definition of entitlement.
That was rage
Lack
bait.
of gratitude. Yeah, rage baiting.
Right. And why did the rage bait start? Why did the rage bait start?
I can tell you one thing. It don't matter why it started, but I can tell you the rage baiting sounds like massive entitlement.
Listen, if it's not directed at you, then it's not your problem, okay? But you heard this president, you heard the government put a target on us, start calling us garbage, okay? And we responded with rage bait. Now, if you took the rage bait, that's your problem. That's your problem.
Nah, that's not the way to do it here in America.
The thing about it is I don't care if I'm back in Somalia or I'm here or I'm in Arabia. If you call me garbage, I'm going to respond, okay? You
It's
can
nothing
say I'm
wrong with
in their
responding, but
house.
that's not the way to respond.
It
Not in
doesn't
America.
matter. It doesn't matter. We're
Okay.
unserious people. We don't listen. He called us, the president of the United States called our entire community garbage. He called our entire country a shithole country. You don't get to tell me how I respond. I will respond the way I want to. Do you
Okay.
understand? Be more upset that your president is a draft dodger. Do you understand? And he's having ICE snatch up and deport veterans. You're after the wrong people. And we will never care. If you have a problem with us defending ourselves, that's your problem. We will never care. And you can send ICE. At the end of the day, Donald Trump doesn't like you, Sky. You're going to get caught up by ICE too.
So we're not gonna get caught up by ICE. And
It's
here's
already
another thing.
happening. There's already
No,
a black veteran in Louisiana. Anyway, I'm not going to go back and forth about this. I could care less about what you identify as. I know you don't care about what I identify as. The problem
no, I
is we were
respect. I'm just
rage
trying to
baiting
have a
a person
respectful.
that called us garbage, and now you're telling us we shouldn't respond the way we did. We're entitled. That's your
I
opinion.
think.
I don't care.
I
Lord,
think.
welcome. Please tell us your ethnicity, your race, and how old you are.
I'm a black American. I'm 57 years old. I'm from Texas. Can you hear me?
Welcome.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Hey, I wanted to respond to a couple things. My point of view would be more as a collective. It's like after all the damage has been done with what Trump got going on and everything, I think that some of the things that Africans and black Americans should be focusing on is how can we heal from this and what can we do as a collective instead of pointing out our individual differences. and I would say this, I used to go to the Ethiopians, the Orthodox Church, and after dealing with some of them, going out to eat with them, I know that the thing about how they feel about black America is kind of real because of the gang banging and all of those things. And I think things like that is some of the things that have kept us in the past from actually being able to come together and form, like a more consolidated front, here in America. And I think that has affected the unity of what we have going on, which is the reason why we're able to be divided by the system, and things like that. Now, I will say, in addition to that, is that, I know some people don't like to talk about it, but I think that religion has something to do with it. And it's because, a lot of black Americans identify with, like, for example, YT version of Christianity versus the UAE version of Islam. So here in America, when a lot of some groups come from like East Africa, when they come in, even though they're the same skin color as us, it's like we see them more as Arabian, slash colonizer than we do as, a consolidated front. And I think that for us to get back on track and to be able to reclaim some of our, original rights in our land here in America and in Africa, is that those are some of the things that we got to push past, to be able to form a more consolidated front as, as a movement of people versus white supremacy. And that's all I want to say. Hello?
I appreciate you. Thank you. I think you're right. I agree. Welcome back, Jay. Listen, Byron, you can say that we're irresponsible in our response to Trump or calling us garbage, but what you should be saying is Trump is irresponsible for calling an entire community in the United States garbage. Like,
More deflection though, Trouble.
it's not deflection. It's
It
the
is.
honest truth. Your
No, because
president is calling people, his own citizens,
what you don't
garbage.
understand is we are a show me state. We are a show me country. Right. And this is what a lot of immigrants don't understand, because y'all kind of live in y'all own little bubbles and y'all don't understand and y'all don't listen either. That's another thing.
I'm not going to listen to somebody who's
y'all
telling
either
me I
hold
can't
on one
respond to
second,
somebody
because
calling
I'm
me
telling
garbage.
you, I'm giving you game. I'm giving you game. I'm giving you game on American culture. And what I'm telling you is, if you talk that shit, you got to back it up here in America. That's what y'all fail to realize. So when you doing shit like that, that right there puts bigger targets on the Somali community's back. Same thing with Elon Omar, how she kind of move and she be taunting. Listen, y'all don't have the numbers. Y'all don't have the support to fight that fight in that manner. And I'm telling you, rage baiting is the exact opposite of what you need to be doing here in America, because America gonna make you. America is we are the land of, if you talk that shit, jump in the ring with me and let's box. If you talk that shit, you got to show me, you got to be willing to put that shit down in blood. That's our culture. That's American culture. So when you get up there rage baiting and thinking that shit gonna slide, you really bringing more heat to the people who are innocent and ain't got nothing to do with any of this shit, because what they gonna, and if you co-signing that shit, and if you even backing this type of shit, people gonna say, you know what, fuck all of them, send them all back,
We
and
don't care
all
about
of
them.
motherfuckers. I'm just, no, you,
I promise
okay,
you,
you
don't
saying
care.
you don't care about it, you saying you don't care about it, but I'm telling you, you not thinking that you don't care about it, it's consequences associated with the shit that this man is doing, and it's consequences associated with you not caring. I'm just trying to tell you, and the consequences are not what you think they gonna be. And that's all. I'm giving you game right now. I'm trying to help you right now. You looking at it like I'm attacking you. And that's another thing.
I'm not looking at it that. I just hear somebody saying entitlement. You know,
It is entitlement, because you ain't work. If you work for something, you won't respond that way. When you died and you seen people be unalived as a result of the freedoms that he's able to get on the online
Again,
and talk like
listen,
that.
America is not the only place that's seen these atrocities. Okay, you got to stop talking like you're in a bubble and you're the only people that endured some shit because of white people. I'll be so honest with you. I'll be so honest
What
with
I'm
you.
breaking down to you is American culture. I'm not talking about what America does
Listen,
outside
I know
of the
you
borders.
think I'm an immigrant. I was born here and raised here. I have a good grip on American culture. And what I'm telling you is, in no way, shape, or form is Trump going to just be like, we're gonna mock him, okay? He's a president and he's calling his constituents, he's calling his own citizens garbage. Like, what are y'all talking about? Like, what?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I told you.
That's great. I appreciate the warning. I appreciate, the advice and the help and stuff like that. But this is the way we're handling it. If there's consequences, we'll deal with consequences. But just like people shouldn't be calling, like police on black folks for arbitrary reasons, y'all shouldn't be calling ICE, on immigrants. It's sick. These are our elders. These are kids that are actually like worried. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but see, y'all don't listen. Y'all don't listen and y'all don't take it. Y'all move like a very arrogant, entitled group of people. And that does not bode well for support. That does not bode well for making good friendships and allies. It does not bode well for people not looking at you as entitled, right? And needing to be humbled. This is what is happening right now. Y'all are going to be humbled. If y'all continue to move like how y'all are moving, I can promise you, you will be humbled. Again,
listen, it's not our first rodeo with the U.S. government. It's not.
America is a show me country. You got to show when you talk when you talk $1 million shit. You got to have more than a $5 bank account to back that up.
Byron, what are you talking about? Like,
what I'm telling you is,
please stick to facts.
No,
okay?
what I'm telling you, what this dude is doing right here.
Content creation.
Listen to this.
His content
Let me
is
explain
about
something to you.
gaslighting taxpayers.
Hey everyone, where is freeloaders heaven located in the earth? United States of America. That is freeloaders paradise. Now you learned something today, America.
It's funny to me. I'm sorry.
Freeloaders paradise is where again?
Working.
America.
We're literally working.
Every video
people,
this guy is talking about how he.
All I'm saying is that right there, that ain't it. I'm telling you, unless you got what it takes to back it up, that ain't it.
That's fine.
That ain't it. And y'all don't have what it takes to back it up.
That's fine.
And here's another thing. Y'all really grossly underestimate the power of Black Americans in this country.
Our rage bait has nothing to. That's what I keep saying.
What I'm telling you
is,
you rage baiting them folk
to do with your community. Don't.
No, it ain't about my community.
Listen. He called us.
We don't care about this.
The intention, the rage bait is intended for MAGA. Don't make it about you. Don't make it a slight to you. It's satire. Okay, this government is giving everything, including its ass to Israel, and it's just satire. Don't make it about you. Don't. It's not like that. Honestly.
Excuse me, Ms. Trouble.
It's not about you.
Excuse me, ma'am. May I ask you a question?
Sure.
As far as the black people that's calling ICE on certain Somalis, right? Do you think that they should do that for any other group, to any other group of
I mean,
religion?
personally, I wouldn't call any sort of Fed on people in America, but you know,
All
that's your
right. Well,
choice. You know, I think it makes you despicable, but
okay. Well, so I like to look at it from two different angles, right? Okay. Black Americans in America, okay, we have spending power, but we're not really in powerful positions as far as in the government, right?
mhm.
Okay, but now we know that the Democratic Party, when you look into the background of a lot of those representatives, a lot of them, doesn't have, American grandparents, right? So what we look at is that when they open the doors to let a lot of immigrants in from different nations, right? And it's like that black people start getting phased out in America. However, the immigrants that come in, they all have a country that backs them. You know what I'm saying? Black Americans don't have a country that back us other than America. So at some point, when the I'm gonna say non-immigrant politicians get in power and start bringing in a lot of immigrants that they got religious backgrounds that have power and stuff like that, like what I mean, like Arabic background. They got a military behind them. All right. So at what point, I mean, how should blacks deal with that as far as making sure that a lot of immigrants is not getting citizenship, or they is not being here illegally, what I'm saying, and sponsoring, T organizations, cartels, and stuff like that. What should they do to get those people out? And what would you recommend?
I don't know. First of all, your country. First of all, this government in and of itself needs to destabilizing places, saying that they're going there, for uh, terrorist organizations, whatever, and when really the intention is just to steal, like oil resources, whatever. And then you wouldn't get an influx of refugees. That's one thing. Another thing is vet people better. But we know that this country is only going to vet, people of color, and they're going to let a whole bunch of Europeans in.
Well, ma'am, in addition to that, I'd like to say there's a great deal of Arabs here. You know what I'm saying? Though? So it's not just about, them, letting in white. They're letting in a great deal of Arabs. And there's a lot of Arabs that come in here that's not coming here with the intentions of, becoming American citizens, adding value to the system. They're coming here with an agenda to take over and change things up, and to deny us of our freedom of religion, amongst other things. So that's what I'm saying, is that I think that people need to
According to
realize.
who, you know that these Arab governments are very much working with the United States. Like I'm pretty sure what's a Saudi prince is coming here. He's got like a 400 car fleet. Like, this whole idea that people are coming here to change your religion and all that stuff. You guys got to stop listening to MAGA. Like, these are MAGA talking points.
No, man,
Jay,
there's a
Jay,
lot
are
of
you back?
videos out there.
I gotta step away for a minute.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
All right. Well, look, what I want to say in addition to that is that, yes, it is true that a lot of the American governments, politicians are working with, I'm going to say, the UAE. And so, again, it go back to what I was saying earlier, is that I think with a lot of people, like the, I'm going to say, people of color that are Muslim, that come from other countries, they don't realize that the strategic thinking mind, black Americans, we see two colonizers. We see the Arab colonizers and the white Christian nationalists as colonizers. So therefore, as they're bringing both of these influx of people in, we're being phased out. And that's why some black people have said, hey, you know what, to get this over with, we're going to side with whatever political party is about getting a lot of these immigrants out of here. You see what I'm saying? Because at some point, we got to start making room for ourselves, and putting people in power in these political positions that represent the best interests of the American people. Because if you start looking at a lot of these governors and all of the Democratic Party, the majority of them, again, is not Americans that have a history that goes back to like the 1800s. So when you look at it, that's kind of like a problem, because majority of them make laws that benefit immigrants, and their laws rarely benefits the American people. Black American people, and I think that's what leads to a lot of the decision that different blacks is making at this time. Is when it comes to calling ICE.
So do you think that MAGA is doing things in benefit of the American people?
Okay, now, I think that the one that that identified directly as MAGA, those are white supremacists. No, their agenda is against all people of color. Whether you, well, they got two things. They're against people of color, and they are against Islam. All right, so that's the point that they're not saying out loud. They are against Islam. That's why they're coming so hard for the Somalis, because they're seen as Islam, as Arabs in the eyes of MAGA. All right, now the other regular white people in there, as far as Republicans, their thing is to preserve American politics, for Americans. So that's what I'm saying. So not MAGA, but Republicans, their agenda is to keep the doors closed as much as possible to make sure that people that come in, it's really coming in, for asylum seekers, instead of coming in under the color of asylum seekers and protected statuses, and when really they're trying to push another agenda to buy up land in America and take advantage of our immigration system and our political system that allows a person to come in, have a child, and they're an illegal immigrant, and then they become an immigrant upon the 14th Amendment, and then they get in our politics and make laws that affect immigrants in the country that they originally come from.
Thank you for that. So it looks like the host stepped away for a while. We don't have a prompt on the screen, so I'm going to go ahead and we'll have to wait till he comes back at this time. So you guys are welcome to just go to another live, and then when we get a prompt back, we can come back. But thank you guys for coming for tonight.
All right.
A mi madre, coñazo. What's going on, Jay? People get dropped. You dropping
We don't
them?
have a prompt. We need a prompt. Can't do this without a prompt. I text you.
Yeah, something's up with the. It won't let me change the prompt at all.
Well, the screen over here is completely dark, so we can't.